Hello.
Hello.
And
Good Anna morning.
Good Anna morning.
Hey everybody.
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the final stream of Tuesday.
The first and final stream of Tuesday.
How is everybody doing? How are you doing, Mike?
I'm well. I'm practicing my announcer voice.
I like it.
Thank you.
Good to hear.
On a day just like this,
Say the pizza is ready.
the pizza is ready. Why?
Say the countdown begins now.
The countdown begins now.
Say Swifty rolls in.
Swifty rolls in.
I like it. That's awesome.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
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 This announcer's had one too many cigarettes.
Where does your husk come from, Mike?
I'll let you know I've never had a cigarette in my life.
Where does a husk come from, though?
I don't know, maybe it's an innate ability born through just being a bear.
Ah, maybe. It's
Roar.
a bear ability, a simple bear ability.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up, let's see, make sure that this is here, and then...
I like this music. It's adventuresome.
It's good, huh? And a morning challenge. That's not the right... That's...
Did we cover Drev Barnes yesterday, by the way?
We did not.
Oh my goodness, well we should do that today.
That's the wrong window. Ah, the dashboard.
Holy guacamole!
Um,
Welcome to our dashboard. This is what it looks like. Welcome to the other side, guys.
just change.
Inside
secrets.
baseball.
I'm glad there's
Look
nothing.
at all these secrets.
I'm glad there's nothing on the dashboard.
This is
that
where we
like,
keep all the unforgivable things.
Ah. Properties.
I need to get back into that dashboard at some point so I can see things properly. At the minute, I'm having to see chat and everything by just having the stream open on another window.
Ha ha! I found the setting.
Nice.
Sorry, it's actually really too much fun.
Too much fun.
Too much fun.
Fun.
Well, I'm having too much fun with that. There we go. Okay, finally unveiled for the first time.
It's
Drev
beginning.
Barnes submission.
So is this the final Drev Barnes one?
I believe so.
Because I know we were
yes.
having some problems with versions yesterday, figuring out which was the latest.
Yes, I believe this is the version.
Okay. So for those who don't know, this is the Anna Morning Challenge that was given last week. These are people's submissions. We were going to go through them yesterday, but we didn't have enough time to hit all of them. So we're going to continue today and check through what people have been doing. The next Anna Morning Challenge was announced yesterday, but we'll announce it again today. Just so that everybody knows. We also put out a post on Twitter. So
Tib says, you guys got through 8 submissions yesterday. By my calculation, there are 10 more. Are you ready, India?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best, okay? I'm going to try and keep it short, concise, and helpful. That's my aim. And also, if anyone wants to chip in with feedback in the chat too, feel free. You guys are all animators and artists.
By the way, I think my theory, Josie Fenton, thanks for the host. Woo.
Thank you, Josie.
However, blah blah neeb in the chat is Bish, I believe, and the creator of Donut Face, the legend.
We love your donut, son. They're great.
we had a lot of fun looking through the frames
we did.
of that.
3 hours of yesterday's 4-hour stream was just looking at the donut. Maybe. So coy.
I hope I'm right.
I think you are.
Okay.
Let's have a look at Drevs. Do it.
Okay, let me open.
Oh, I forgot that you have to be the one.
Oh wait, no, it was playing.
Okay, I play it again. So this is the one where, unfortunately, it seems to have cut out a section in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can see the jump from just there down to here. Which is a shame. Oh, I wish we could get a version with the entire motion in. But we can still look at what we have here. This is still more than enough to give critique on.
Yeah, it's still tasty.
It's super tasty, dude. Again, it's really cool to see like a humanoid with powers as well. I really like that you have the person fall down here and then use their powers to push themselves back up. That's really fun. There's a lot of really fun posing in here too that I really like. Like, look at that pose. That's lovely. Really nice anatomy. There. Really nicely implying those forms and having some good foreshortening going on. Let's have a look. We'll look through it frame by frame.
I'm gonna give you...
You're gonna give me what?
A 10-minute timer.
A 10-minute timer?
Yeah.
Okay, so upon first viewing this beginning bit, I think the main thing I saw that I think I could perhaps give you feedback on is just that it feels like it reads a bit fast. And I think that's probably due to it being almost entirely on ones. I think that's the issue. I don't really get the sense of that weight landing because the landing goes straight into this very fast roll and then straight up into this spring. Whereas I think you want to spend a little bit more time with the weight landing and then preparing to jump up. Because for a jump that high, unless you're an extremely light person, you'd need to have a bit more of anticipation going into it. You could probably go straight from the roll into it without having this pose in between. But I think you might need to spend a little bit more time in the roll in that case. But let's see. So this is a great stretch pose here for the contact. Really like that. Ooh. Great stretch pose. Yeah! Animation! Like really clear line of action. Everything's coming down to this point here. I would say that the drawing just before, it feels like we are gaining a lot of mass between these two drawings without the perspective of the background shifting enough to really justify the growth of the character. It doesn't, like, unless they are perhaps coming from over here.
Yeah.
Then
well, the camera's not moving enough for that from the previous frames.
Yeah, like unless they're coming from way back here forward in space, it doesn't really make sense for them to grow so much between these two frames. So I think you could do an in-between here where it's a little bit closer to the proportions you have down there. Why? I fall. Here I go. Oh, I've fallen. Start to unfold one of those legs. It's a very rough indication. But yeah, since you have those legs bent, it might be nice to have one leg up, so there's like a little feeling of offset there. Cha-da-da. And then you go straight into this roll, which is good. So we go from stretch to squash here, which is great. Bear in mind that they'll probably be rolling on their heels rather than their toes. So rolling off their heels onto their toes. See, that goes under. I wonder if I would have it in between here. Nah, I probably wouldn't. I think you're right to go straight into it. Now comes the part where you're like, I wish I knew how to do forward rolls. How do you do it? Do you you'd probably go over one shoulder for this, but if you're going to do a straightforward roll, it's both hands with the elbows up, is that right? Like that?
For a forward roll?
Yeah. Or is it more like under? Like that?
I think it would be under.
Yeah, but just watch that you're not losing too much mass here. Like the sizing here is more comparable to the size it was when your character was falling down. So maybe just the issue is that the stretch frame, it feels like rather than just being stretched, it feels like the entire character has grown. So we go from like, look at this amazing indication.
Yeah.
We want to go from this to like,
Enigmatic Amelia is saying the roll when landing is normally done without really setting your legs. In parkour, you kind of use your legs to just barely slow the fall, and then the roll disperses the energy. I don't know how animation wise that works, but you go across the body to your shoulder blade for a parkour roll. Yeah, so if you're purposefully animating someone who would be more susceptible to the effects of gravity and hard surfaces hitting them at high speeds, I think having them like straighten their legs out like that in practical terms would do damage to them, but in an animation term, to really sell the impact and the speed that they're going at, the stretch is warranted.
Like, I think this is the issue that you're having with the stretch frame.
Is it looks like it's bigger?
Yeah, is you want to maintain the mass. So when something stretches, it would also kind of compress in because the same amount of meat is being stretched over a larger surface area. So
I'm just laughing at the use of the word meat rather than volume.
Yeah, so think of it like a rubber band. You know, it will get thinner as it stretches out. Whereas I think because your character is kind of maintaining the same rough body proportions, but it's just much larger, it feels less like a stretch and more like it's coming forward in space there. If you were going to maintain the same body proportions between this frame and that frame, I think you'd want something more like that kind of thing. Even then, like, that might be a little bit tall. But think of it like a rubber band.
3 minutes left, India.
Oh, jeez! I forgot that we had a time limit. Like a rubber band. A rubber band.
So I'm testing this out. See if.
Yeah, I think with this, maybe you just want a bit more momentum going forward too. Like the momentum from the fall. Like an enigmatic Amelia in chat says, the roll is kind of dispersing that energy and it's continuing the momentum. But rather than it sending a shock through your body down to the floor where it stopped, it's continuing that on, so it's a smoother transition. So I think for one thing, I might consider putting this roll on 2s, just so it's not super duper fast. But if you think of the mass being like this green here, I think that the momentum of that is going to keep it going a little bit further forward than you currently have it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, definitely think of it maybe as being on 2s rather than 1s, just because at the minute it feels very, very fast and there's not much difference between the spacing of anything. Here, it's all very even. So let's see, then we have this cool anticipation. Is that it doesn't really feel like they're bracing downwards for this. And if they're going to be jumping upwards to do a somersault, you'd probably want them bracing downwards, just to make that anticipation really readable. So I'd be tempted to make the pose a little less regular, maybe by having like they've just come out of a roll. Maybe they have like their leg back like that. And they're looking up. But then you really want them to like push down on this pose. Get that back arcing. Bend that arm.
So Brento, we're currently looking through submissions for the Animorning Challenge, and India's doing some drawovers to...
Ah! He's not gonna get away with this!
To help Drev see if he can push his animation. And we'll be looking through a fair few today. Hey, Rolando, welcome to the stream again. Thanks for another raid. How are you doing? How was your stream?
Even more like tuck that head in.
Hey, Sanrania. I didn't see you there. Hello, welcome.
And then use that like to like spring upwards.
It was, oh yes. Oh, it's a cool emote. Hey, Habbo. Oh, I like that arm drag, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what you would do with the other arm. Maybe just bring it back like this and mirror the other arm a little bit there.
Oh, that's really awesome, Rolando. Rolando says they're making progress on their comic kinematic.
Oh, nice! So yeah, I like the spacing here when you spring up. Maybe consider dragging one of the legs a little bit more. Just so we get like the trail of that arc coming up there with the legs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nice back pose here. Oh, geez, I played it by accident. There we go.
One thing I would say about the pacing of this is it's very, very fast.
Yeah, that's the ones, I think. I'm sorry, Siri?
Did Siri just say, leave it to the professionals?
I think so. I think she's back talking us. Yeah, I'd say, see how it looks to you if you just put everything on 2s to begin with? Let's see how that looks. And let's see. Oh, I see. They land on top of this. Gotcha.
So like they're grabbing almost in
I think
between.
they're like landing on it. In which case you'll probably want, if this is the landing pose you're going for, you'll probably want their butt more like here. Straight away.
Oh. Yeah. I think that's called a Kong vault. Where you like throw your feet over and then you have the hands behind you to keep you going over the top.
But you don't normally land on it, do you?
No. So it would only be the hands.
Here
hitting.
it looks like we're actually on top of it.
Yeah.
If we want to go over the top of it, then the arc should very clearly like keep you above it. So that there's no confusion. But if you want to actually land on it and then slide off, which is I think what's happening here, given these two drawings.
Yeah.
I know, what do you think?
My feeling is it's supposed to be like they're going over the top of it and just using their hands to push them over. I don't think their butt's meant to be hitting it.
Do you think the hand's meant to be in contact here?
Yeah, so it's weirdly out of sync, I would say.
Okay.
But you never usually see a Kong vault out of a
somersault.
Oh, I'm talking about a dash vault. Okay, I might be wrong then. I've never really seen a vault like this out of a somersault, so.
Okay, so I think in that case, start unfolding your arms maybe here.
Oh wait, is a Kong vault when you kick your legs up and only your hands are down? Yeah, I'm being a dumb.
I'm sorry? Do you think that's still what they're trying to do, or?
I think what they're doing is a dash vault, but it's like if you were to jump over something and do like a jump over, but you wouldn't have enough power. You put your hands down behind you to push off to send you further, but you don't actually touch it with anything other than your hands.
Right, so you think the drawings are in the wrong place here?
I think so.
Somehow they've been shifted over. Okay, so here you'd want to just shift these drawings forward a little bit and really make sure it's clear that that pelvis is above. Use shadows if you have to. And then, yeah, it's difficult because if they're doing that, they're not like anticipating with their hands. So the hands might not fold out sooner, I guess, because they probably wouldn't bring their hands out until they're like here. Would they be convex or concave though? Like I feel like maybe I need, if I'm going to be critiquing moves like this, I kind of need to know what the moves are. Because I feel like if you were going to push yourself with hands, well, no, it depends how much you're pushing yourself with the hands. If you're just tapping as you're going over, then you might not change your spine position. But if you're actually pushing with your hands, your spine would go from convex to concave.
Yeah, I think he would probably go from concave, and then with the force of pushing yourself over, you would stretch, and like you give yourself an extra this little.
Because if that's so, then we could reverse the spine here, which might be nice. You want to give that a go? I love spine reversals. They say so much about like what's happening within the body and where the weight is. Guess I might straighten that leg out a little bit. We go instead. And then shoulder would be.
What type of vault is it where you slowly and cautiously lift one leg over the vault and try to find the floor on the other side whilst hugging it for an attempt at feeling safe?
That's a Swifty vault right there.
2 suggestions, the snail vault or the koala vault.
So in this case, going over legs first. Let's see. So you've got them anticipating like this. I'm just moving everything forward a little bit, basically, so that the hands connect properly with the edge of the platform. Yep, you're going to want their butt leading, basically, with the head looking over like this. And then probably the hands would be like up at the ready, I'm guessing, for slamming down. Just break the silhouette there.
Yeah.
And then they would snap down on that frame. And then maybe their head is already like looking up here as their butt's coming round. This is creepy music. Spooky animations. You trying to creep me out, Mike?
No.
You You're trying to spook me, Doig. Trying to make me too spooked to look at the animation.
Too spooked? You're already over time.
No, I'm not.
Do
So what's happening with the hands here?
you remember when Rolando raided?
Yeah.
That was your time.
No. So I think like the elbow could be there.
Oh, let me grab that. You DM'd on Twitter
There we go.
to Doig if you want. Okay, let me grab.
But yeah, I think like a spine reversal here would really get across that you are like leaping over this. Again, though, I probably wouldn't do all of this on ones. I'd have a lot of this on twos. I'm going to put nice spacing here because I like the spacing. Nice spacing.
Ah.
There we go. And then this is like a really nice pose. I like how you can really see the dimensionality of the body here.
Can you see this?
Hold on. Nice perspective. Construction. Oh yeah, nice. That's cool.
So that's a dash vault.
I wonder if we can drop that into chat so that everyone can see.
I think I can try.
Again, nice stretch frame here.
I don't know if this will work since it's in a DM, but there you are.
And then I think you could do to hold this pose for a little bit. Again, like the main thing I think about this, the main thing I think about this animation that I'm noticing is just like it's very fast and everything is on ones. Here we got two. I think you could really do to like, as soon as this person's up, just like holding in that pose and then going into this one would be really nice to be like a whoosh, and then you continue the motion rather than a whoosh, which is at the minute, there's not much chance to appreciate that this has happened. So I think you could start off with one of these legs slightly behind the other. And then have that slowly come up. Like a moving hold. And we get to see like the arms slowly raise up. And like the head maybe starts to prepare to come down. Like we just see this pose get pushed a little bit. During that hold.
Yeah, you want to give we humans time to register and read fast actions. So having that rhythm of like really quick movement into a slow ease or an arc or something, and then another fast motion out of that. It also gives your character enough time to like think about what they're doing and what they're going to do next.
Again, this is a really nice pose. Like I like this pose a lot. Got some really nice foreshortening happening here where we can see like the top of the shoulders and a bit of the back. Super nice. I think the next pose, the perspective doesn't really feel as connected to the previous one.
Like they're rolling over almost on a sideways plane rather than the direction they're traveling.
Yeah, like if you think of this, like the head's going to be coming over this way, right? Because it's coming towards us in perspective as well.
Okay, Tria Wintergreen, you go make muffins and chill.
So, oh wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah, have a good time. So let's see. It would probably be more like, that's gonna come down. going to have the line of the back. Like the center line's probably going to be about there.
Yeah, this is the first one of the day, I'm not.
Are you guys making fun of me? How dare you? Don't even answer, coward. Coward Michael. Not wanting to face my wrath.
Your wrath?
My wrath.
Where are you keeping your wrath?
Isn't that how you pronounce it? People always used to make fun of me for saying grapes of wrath. Because I used to say that I was pronouncing wrath wrong.
I don't know now. I would say wrath.
I always said wrath and people were like, wrath? What's that? I was like, because it has an A. And they were like, it's pronounced wrath.
Well, that might be the awe of, like, Englishness.
Grapes of wrath. And now I'm like, wrath, and everyone's like, oh, wrath! Swear, it's a crazy world, guys. You just can't win.
I guess this world is just full of wrath.
Just quit and become an animator. That's my motto.
Whoa, what does that sound mean? Someone let me know.
Let's see, what were you doing with the hands? Yeah.
Ada Cyan is now hosting us. Thank you.
So you could continue the arms round.
Hello, Ada Cyan.
It's a host.
Oh, thank you so much for the host. Or you could put the arms in a different position. You could do whatever you want. It's your world. It's your rules.
All right.
You can do anything you want apart from use fudgy perspective. I am a robot. I do somersault. That's what my arm position is like.
Were you always like Azeroth, Metreon, Zinthos?
I'm sorry? Was I always like Azeroth, Metrios, Doth?
Zinthos.
What?
It's a thing from... Whoa! Trio Winter Green is now hosting us. It's a thing from Teen Titans, from Raven.
What?
She's like Azeroth, Metreon, Zinthos. But you'd be like, Azeroth, Metreon, Zinthos.
Well, Azeroth isn't Roth, is it? It's a name. You fool.
Whatever.
Fool of a duke. But yeah, I think it would be more like this, where you'd be able to see the line at the back. That would make more sense given the previous frame to me. I'd also be tempted to like avoid the twinning by maybe bringing one of the legs up a little bit higher. Again, just to make that pose a bit more interesting.
Isn't Azeroth like the place from World of Warcraft as well?
Teen Titans and World of Warcraft confirmed interlinked worlds. And there you are. You see here you've got this lovely line again down the back, which is super nice. But you seem to be losing a little bit of the mass again. Because these three drawings are all quite comparable in mass. But then this feels much smaller. So it feels like we've lost some mass. So just be careful of that. You might need to enlarge the drawing a little bit. Compared to previous drawings. If you want me to stay on time, by the way, you're going to have to be harsher with me.
Get on to the next one, Swifty. Come on.
Okay, let me just
next.
have a... Okay, let me
next
just...
one, come on.
Let me just have a look.
You're done. Come on, you're done. Just look through the... Come on.
I'm going to have a look.
I don't think you were expecting that.
I wasn't.
If you want me to get on to the next one, you're going to have to be...
So this pose here, I really like the way that we go from this really nice line of action to this spine reversal as they push the magic up. This is also a really fun pose. Like, I love it. Some really nice posing in here.
I'm just laughing. Everyone is reacting to that.
I don't know why I bother.
You be harsher on me. Get going! No, wait.
But I feel like maybe as they're coming down here, because we get the arc of their motion pretty much here during these frames. And because they're falling down here, it feels a bit strange for them to be able to rotate around like this, so close to the ground.
You're right, my friend!
Thanks, Sonic.
Isn't English broken in that sense anyway? Since each individual state/country has different accents and terms, that is.
Yeah, well, English is an extremely broken, terrible language. I feel bad for anyone trying to learn English.
There's so many different accents, yeah.
There's a billion different accents, and also there's a billion different meanings for words that sound exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like there and there.
And there.
And there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it feels like maybe they're a bit too close to the ground to be doing this. Like, in terms of this frame, I feel like the ground's maybe like here. So maybe you just want to ping them up higher. So that they, rather than having the height of their arc here, if the height of their arc is instead like here-ish, then I think this pose would make more sense. I very much like the pose though. I like this line of action. I like this reversal. Super nice. It just feels a bit out of place being so close to the ground. Like it doesn't feel like they would have the momentum if they're falling like this to suddenly flip around again. Oh, that's another really nice fun pose. I really like that.
Yeah, that's cool. Right,
Yeah.
strong pose on it.
Alright, strong pose. Strong. My little... the hand. Strong pose.
Okay, next drawing.
Okay. Great work, Drav. I hope that those notes are helpful for you. Mainly it's just about maintaining the mass and making sure that you're giving yourself enough time to do stuff. Make sure that you aren't doing everything on ones. Because especially if you have spacing like this, which is like... the spacing is fairly wide in places. If you're having quite wide spacing and also putting everything on ones, it's going to go really, really, really fast. Try as a rule forcing yourself to work on 2s or 3s for a little while and then fill those in afterwards with in-betweens if you need. There will be places where you need to have 1s because you have very fast action. But I guess try saving your 1s for those bits and then doing the bulk of your animation on 2s and then in-betweening if you want to have it on 1s. Just because it'll help you get the spacing and the motion down faster.
Yeah.
Alright, what we got next? Let's see. Got a wolf.
I think this is Kurzek's.
Kurzek! I see your name! Hey Kurzek, I don't know if... are you in chat? Maybe. Let's have a look at what Kurzek did. Oh, this is cool. Ba, 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 ba. Time to tell you how to fix that landing and also everything else. This is really nice so far, Kurzek. Like, you took a small section of it, and because of that, you've been able to flesh out a little bit more. I like the character a lot. It's almost like a kind of werewolfy vibe I'm getting.
10 minutes go.
10 minutes go. Can I just admire it for a second?
Nope, it's gone.
Alright.
You can admire it as part of the 10 minutes.
Well, I need to kind of look at it a little bit in order to even see what I would give notes on. But I really like this motion overall. You've got some really nice fun shapes happening in here, especially with the way that you are running the back into that arm there. Like, lovely economy of line and shape shorthand. I really like that. Let me choose a colour which isn't red, so I won't accidentally blend into your line too much. But I really like this. That's lovely. That really nice curve. It's nice to see you following the lines of stuff like the back like that to make sure. So yeah, this is super nice. I'd be tempted to push that curve of the back there, but it's a really nice, interesting pose. I like how not everything is twinning. Feels nice and offset. And the characters looking where they're gonna land. I think you could have the eye direction slightly more where they're gonna land, but looking good. So this hand is seems a little bit like you weren't quite sure how to do the pose there. It's a tricky one. Because the way that you have the elbow bent, it would kind of be like that, maybe?
Do they start by like grabbing two hands like that?
I don't know.
Or
this is the first frame.
Is that the first frame? Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
But I'd be tempted to put the hand like this, maybe, just to make that elbow break a little bit easier on the wrist. You know, if you wanted to have it the other way, you could. I think that it would probably be. It's very hard to do that. You're breaking the wrist essentially to get it over that way. Let me see.
Yeah, you can have hands sort of like slide and change position as you make your way over a vault as well. So even if you start from like overhand facing direction, as you go over, you can like pivot your hand. So you're grabbing it the opposite way if need be.
Yeah. I can see why you would have trouble getting the hand to be in that position because it's definitely tricky. So yeah, I'd be tempted to have it feel a bit more natural to put the thumb on this side and have them kind of grabbing it like that. But we'll see what happens in the next couple of frames. See how you can really see like the construction here is really nice. Like I can see the top side of where the neck would join everything. Got this tail dragging behind, super cool. And then we have this. I think I'd say just because the hands don't really push or straighten out, it feels like it's a hop not taken at great speed or with great urgency. Just because it feels more like they are like not climbing down, but just touching down gently here. Because I would expect if they were really exerting some force behind it, that probably the arms would start to straighten out here to push the mass of the body over rather than stay curved how they are. I'd like be tempted. It would push them further away from the vault though. The Volvo! Because as it is, the head's not really moving. Just the back body is swinging over. But I think I'd be tempted to use the arms as like the catalyst for that. Pushing the mass of the body upwards. And then you could keep that that back paw curved. I think even during this frame, if you wanted to. Powerful shoulder. And then you could do like a really nice contact position here. Let me see if there's a hold option. You touch down here.
Yeah, just Jackie. I sent you a text thing and the thing, but yeah, unfortunately, any more parkour ones that are done, we won't be able to review like this on stream. Otherwise.
Oh yeah, otherwise this would now be the streams forever. Which would be every time someone submits a new one, we would have to do a review of it. And I love looking through these, but we did not expect to get quite so many. It's wonderful that so many people took on the challenge, but I think it's fair to say that if it was submitted after the deadline, that we'll go through the ones that were submitted on Monday.
Yeah.
And then just appreciate the rest.
Yeah, go for the dance one. The dance one is animating roughly about 5 seconds, less if you want to, but at 160 BPM, and then on the deadline, sorry, the submission stuff for that is Sunday, and we'll collect everyone's clips on Monday. Will we get to Tibbs and Kevin's? I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. We could do those ones next. Wow. Okay, I'll try and draw faster. Okay.
You got 3 minutes left.
Oh geez, I'll try and draw faster, and then we might have like the release here of the hand just coming off. Like this. Sorry guys, you might have to endure my super fast scribbles now.
Kozak, don't guilt me, no!
Kozak's wielding that power.
Mm.
There we go.
Remember that you can do beats on 80 beats per minute and still do every second beat if you want to do a slightly slower motion.
Oh yeah, so long as it's on a multiple of 9, it should land on the beat.
Yeah.
So no need to be like, I have 9 frames to do each pose. Because that would be super duper fast.
Boom, 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 boom.
And then that amazing squash. I love that squash so much. Like, I suppose since I've left the other port on there, if you wanted to do that, it might be more like this kind of thing. With the back arm up and the other arm just letting go. Like that.
So you go from one curve to another, like a rounded curve with a curve pointing up to almost like a rounded curve with a curve pointing down.
I'm sorry?
Like this. The shape of the figure is like this in the previous frame, and then it's
So
like
it's a reversal from concave to convex.
Yeah.
Or convex to concave, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a spine reversal, Mike.
A spine
When I talk about
reversal.
spine reversals, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like, this is super nice. I really like this squash frame. So fun. And then look at this fun shape. It's so good. Ah, Kozak, that's really fun to look at.
Yeah.
I love the way that you're starting the movement here, leading with the shoulder.
That's good feels.
That's really fun. Leading with shoulder. Awesome. Like, you're treating the character as like this it's kind of overall large shape, which I really like. So rather than getting caught up in the different parts of it, you're really thinking about the overall shape that it's making. Have a slight ease out here into this. I might be tempted to just ping straight to this.
Do I edit?
You could probably pop to this.
Okay, I'll do 50.
This is just an option though. This is a taste thing, you know? Like, it's far more Western to ease into it like this and to really show the progression of that movement, and it's much more Eastern to kind of pop into it like that. Really like it though. I'd be tempted to move that head forward a little bit. Get that really nice sweeping arc going up there of the head. That'd be nice to break the silhouette a little bit with the nose. A lovely line of action there.
I'm not sure I could consider yours cheating, Tibbs. You sort of went your own way.
Cheating?
Tibbs animated her background.
What? I'm sorry, Tib.
Yeah.
You did what now?
She animated
I'm excited.
Her own camera movement background.
I'm excited to see that. That's fun. And I feel kind of like this foot might be up at this point. Because we're seeing it come round. I'm talking about this back foot. We're seeing it come round. So I'm feeling like it might be more kind of up. Like this. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong drawing. That's the problem. That's the issue. It is up. Lovely. Maybe try bringing it forward in space a little bit. So it's a little bit less completely side on. And a little bit more like this. With the knee coming forward.
Get that overlap.
Yeah.
Which you're getting a nice sense of that with the hand.
Yeah, that hand is lovely, by the way. You could even smear it more if you wanted to, you know. Really. Drag that hand down. Why not? And then I love this like slender shape. I just want to push that slender shape more, and I think maybe rotating the knee toward the camera a bit helps with that. And then we have the hand. The back hand is dragging, which is super nice.
I think you just creeped out Rolando with your whispering.
Get creeped.
Waffles.
Do you want to tell the story of how you creep everyone out by saying that all the time?
Oh, it's not everyone. It's just Elle. We were on a voice call, and she was talking about how I think maybe she's not a fan of ASMR or something, or like her headphones are really quite not sensitive or clear, like just really clear. So I just whispered waffles into the microphone during a voice chat periodically just to creep her out.
Lovely paths of motion. Like, I really love the way you're unfolding these legs as they go. I think one of the problems here with the landing that you were talking about is you could add in a stretch frame here to really feel it, because the timing on the way down, sorry, the spacing, I keep using those interchangeably by accident. The spacing on the way down here feels very even between these drawings. So I think like you might want to start unfolding this this front leg here. And then like figuring out how the legs work. They seem to just have, yeah, they just have knees, and then the feet are quite large and they can stand on the tiptoes. I getcha.
Yeah, they just got big feet.
Yeah. See, you could stretch that down. And then that would be brought in. And drag the upper body behind. Because it's going to go down next, so it's all about that contrast. I'm looking at it like a whip. Whip motion.
Okay, I've decided that people will get 15 minutes each now. So you got minus a minute.
Oh!
On this one.
Okay, so looking at like a whip motion, the body is coming back a little bit. Just because it's going to add more contrast. When you get to this frame here. So I'd be tempted to like bring these big beefy arms out like you have them. Yeah, that's lovely, the way that you're having them come up as they're going down. And then bam, straight into that.
And then you probably have like a circular saddle.
Or a screen shake. Yeah, and then you have this nice little ease up as well.
I feel like those 2 feet might be too much in line to really have them balanced. Like they're a little bit too not close together. Like they were previously a little bit further forward and a little over to the right, but where they are in line with the perspective there, they feel
like you would want them to start leaning forward with their butt.
Yeah.
Like it's fine that they're landing here like this because the entire weight is here. So it's like being supported in between these feet. But when they start to rise up, it feels much more like they would fall backwards. Because this supporting pillar here, they no longer have their weight over the top of it. Their weight is now back, mostly here. So as they rise up, you might need to have them come a little bit forward. Just so that it feels clear that the weight is over the top of the knee. And mostly on this foot here. Whereas this is more like it's trailing behind. But it's not actually supporting very much of their weight. So keep an eye on the weight.
I like that you went from reassuring Emlet to utterly like terrifying.
Weight on this foot. Yeah, there we are. Because the knee is really, this back knee is really being used to brace there more than anything. But the real weight is being put onto this foot, the front foot. And so you just might need to have them a little bit further forward. Lovely work, Kozak. Super nice. I love it! Bam.
Getting that really nice sweeping arc in the jump is so good.
Yeah. And I guess to sell that weight, you could even have a little bit more of an overshoot on the head. So to like really drag that head down, using the snout to show where it is. Before you bring it back up. I think that might look cool too. Just really reinforce the weight. But yeah, lovely work. Sorry that my notes are all over the top of it now. But like I really like the sweeping motions you have here with the arms and such. I'd be tempted to like have a bit more of this on 3s as we rev up, and then have more of this at the top here on 2s or 1s. So I really get a kind of vroom, 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 vroom kind of.
Oh, okay.
What was it that Pat said? Slow ups, fast downs.
For
to
a
really show the weight of the character. So there's a lot more. You put more exposures into gearing up for the motion and fewer exposures in the air. Just to really like sell that heaviness. Like just here I'd love to see a few more holds and like this, or just a few more in between before they jump.
Thank you very much for the follow. Who dat?
Yeah,
India?
thank you. It's Sandokan333.
Thank you very much for following. Welcome to the Animation Breakfast Club. We're Doig and Swift.
Yeah. And this is Kurzak's animation, and it's cool. Thank you, Kurzak. I really like this character as well. Super cool. Nice job, by the way, maintaining the mass and the solidity of the forms and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I Good job. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Do you want to move on to Kevin's or Tibbs's? So we can make sure that we hit those ones.
Okay. Kevin's is the one that says reverse mermaid.
I see. You guys ready? If anyone hasn't seen this, prepare yourself for a treat.
Let me play. Oh my gosh. Kevin. What?
There we go.
I love this.
So Kevin apparently did this in about 2 hours. That boy fast. One thing that I always admired about Kevin's animation is not only, number one, his speed, but his comic timing is so good.
Yes. He's a Jenga boy.
I love the feeling of that pendulum swing.
Yeah.
The spacing there is so nice and satisfying, and there's relatively few drawings, but they're all in like such a good place for feeling the momentum of that swing. The way that he's dragging the feet there and offsetting them so that it's not twinning. I'm just gonna write lovely spacing.
Tibbs just says, is that the proper way to land from a big drop, Amelia?
Yes. Like, he's really got a handle on the perspective too. Like, the way that we're enlarging the creature as we pass by it.
Mm.
The way we have this this rotation here too is nice and convincing. Beautiful boy.
There's even a blink at the end, just to like helps like sell it.
There you go. Comic timing. So good. I like the way he's like one of those squid kids as well from Inkling, the Splatoon games.
Yeah.
Where he can like go into solid objects. So look at this nice little smear to get under the water. And then like very shorthand, but nice little plip as they go in.
To help you understand that it's going into liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get some ripples.
And then great smear. Great smears of fire. Great. How do I spell smear? Oh yeah, like this. Schmear. Then look how we get this nice like squash frame. Because the overall shape here, if you look at the overall shape, it's maintaining volume, right? As it goes, so it is squashing and stretching. Convincingly. You can see that the same amount of mass is maintained no matter what the pose is. Oh, this is great. I love that perspective. The way they're diving straight toward the camera. Chilling. And then this great pose, which says so much about the character, because this looks all business. But then this is very much like, what?
I don't know what I'm doing. My legs are just going in like different directions. There's no grace. There's no poise. The expression.
Having the eye there just in the center of the white of it just like communicates gormlessness, like an unthinking or a slow thinking feel.
Like, this is a great example of how the way you make your character move says so much about them. Like, we're only something like 6 frames in, and already I know pretty much everything I need to know about this fish person from like this one pose. Like, it really shows.
Relander says, I find this man butt fish inspiring.
Yes. Be inspired. Shows chaotic nature. I love this. It's just an arrow. This smear frame is just an arrow. That's so cool. That's so cool. And then bam! We get this great squash frame.
So that arrow smear, I think, can help communicate, like, that they're spinning, maybe?
I think it's meant to be the feet, but it's basically an arrow.
Oh, okay.
So these are the feet.
Okay, gotcha.
And then we get this bam. But just the fact that the smear is basically an arrow, I think is really fun and clever. I've seen people do that before. I was watching TMNT the other day, like Rise of TMNT, and one of the impact frames they use, basically someone's running down a corridor and they get smacked into by something else, which changes their direction. And the impact frames are arrows going the direction that they've been impacted to go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just black and white arrows.
That's really cool.
Like, it's great. Pop up into full glory. And then we get this great, like, hold here. This little heel tap. Beautiful. And then again, look how we're avoiding the twinning here by offsetting. Good delays. And offset. Just makes the movement feel a bit more interesting. Especially because this fish in particular has like fewer limbs to work with than most others.
Sort of. I mean, he does have bits of fins and stuff, but they're mostly used here for expression.
Yeah, they're hardly as great for the silhouette as arms are.
Yeah.
And then we have this foot comes down to here, and this foot slides back.
Is that like a double exposure smear there?
What?
We'll see how there's a leg going back to there on that one frame. Is that like there's two legs on the same frame of the same two drawings of the same leg on the same frame?
I think so. I think he was tracing the position from this leg here.
Gotcha.
On this frame. So yeah, I think there's like basically two legs on this frame. And then we get this gear up. I expect him to just run forward here, but we actually go backwards because it's almost like a sonic spin in the mechanics of the way that this is working. Like, his legs are pedaling, but he's going backwards, and the smoke is getting more and more as we gear up for him exploding forwards. I expected more of like a... like this kind of thing where he was like, I'm exploding outwards now with the speed. But we just get this kind of floppy, like, nah. I'm just gonna write like awesome anticipation though. Like, see how Kevin spends a lot of time on this anticipation and really like gears up for it.
It's a clever way to get around the like those red blocks coming in to show the character on screen for longer as well.
Yeah, that's 15 frames of anticipation there. All in all, about 4 drawings, I think.
Yeah.
Just showing this fish gearing up.
Poot.
Oops. But then we instead get this fish just like but look how he's using the smoke drag behind as well to show the arc. So the arc is reinforced by the effects animation here. It's super fun. And then we get some twinning. I don't mind it as much though because everything building up to this has been so uneven that it's almost like punctuation.
Whoa!
Again, we get some nice anticipation with this head flopping down and these fins flopping up before we get this great line of action here. I would be tempted to twin this slightly less, this jump. Maybe like stick the leg out again or something.
Oh, cool, Johnny V Story, you did one. I hopefully grabbed it. What's your Twitter handle? Just so I like see if I recognize it.
Because then you could do this and just like stick his legs completely out as he's diving in, which might be fun. Like, lovely line of action though. Great arc again. Oh my gosh. They emerge! Beautiful frame. I might be tempted to give them more of an arc along the bottom of this. Since the arc is basically being created by their body shape right now rather than the progression of frames. I think I'd be tempted to like put them entirely along that arc instead.
Enigmatic Amelia is saying, I don't know reverse mermaid anatomy, but twin legs are how you practice. Thanks for the follow. Twin legs are how you do precision jumps, and generally how you dive, but I think this is going for more fun than form.
Yeah. It's good to know though. Maybe add more of a curve to the bottom.
Oh, that's amazing timing. Tiz was saying one of the previous Animorning challenges was to animate an explosion, which I gave reviews for. Feel free to check out the VOD for some tips. And then Trashbot's like, discover our past projects and how we made them here in our VODs collection. Link.
Nice.
That link will take you to it. There's an Animorning challenge playlist on there. That has all the previous Animorning challenge streams where we both showcase and review previous challenges.
Oh, this is great. Look at this. I didn't even notice this. Like, the foot coming out here. Nice use of a shortening there.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I'd probably build up to that a little bit more. Like, I'd have the foot maybe start to come apart here.
Yeah.
And then, like, more here.
Or maybe even an upward arc.
An upward arc?
Yeah. Like if it was following, I can't really show you, but like it could go over rather than going under and splaying out, but that's just
I guess so.
That's subjective.
You could have...
I'm just trying to be useful, India.
You are useful, Mike. You could have it come up like this.
Yeah.
And then up like that. And then down like this.
Yeah, something more like that. That was how it would be how I approached it.
Nice. So I'll put start to move foot in perspective sooner, just because that's such a wonderful little detail of the pose. And I'm kind of missing it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
think it's
even...
rolling.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not the foot. That's just like a continuation of that arc shape, but using the knee instead.
Yeah.
Because I was like, how's its eye? Nice roll. This is great.
He spent time on that, but...
Yeah, it's beautiful though. Look how much it paid off. Kevin knows where to spend his time, you know?
And just, like, he's like, okay, we've seen the fish from the front for this entire time, and this is the first point where we're gonna see it from behind. There he
That
goes.
butt. So muscly.
Clench.
And then this great pose, which like really shows the overlap of everything.
Oh, Kevin.
Like we can see the forms here, the cylinders very clearly. Which is super fun. I love this squash that's happening in the butt. Squish. Bottom of that foot.
This might actually be the similar frame that on Habbo's were like at that butt, but it's very important.
This is the money pose. Right here.
So graceful.
Yeah. Kind of wish that we could linger on that pose a little bit longer. Maybe extend it to a 3 or something just so it's more viewable. And then, yeah, look, the arcs are really nice and clear on this. You can really see what everything is. And the spacing as well. You see how we do this big takeoff. And then looking at the head of the fish, it's very like close together here at the top. And then we get this big bam. So if I use the eye here. Whoops. We just delete that. Oh. Cool. Then that's the arc that we're going on. Here.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talk about like the spacing of an arc and a ball bounce, like this is kind of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah.
Amelia says,
See?
I love the occasional open mouth on the fish, making what I imagine to be noises of grace and beauty.
Yeah. Beautiful arcs. And then this great anticipation again with like a dead eye. I'm assuming that's the way that the fish closes its eye. And then I think maybe he could push this into perspective a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Push into perspective more. Just because the next frame is like way over here. So I think it would be good to really show the fish going into perspective. Whee! Wah!
Nice. It's really cool to see how people have like taken different parts of the environment. And he's like, okay, there's a block there.
So having this foot go over
I'm
here.
gonna use that.
But what's the front foot doing? Because I think you could maybe make the pose a little bit stronger. Just because here, I'm unsure if that's contacting the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So making it really clear it's not, I think will help sell the moment a little bit better.
There'd be
It'll
more
make it more
contrast
clear.
as well with like it up and then it down.
Yeah, let me get this awesome splat.
How do they get out of that jam?
Let's have a look.
Ah, okay, they
They're
climb
good,
up.
yeah, they just climb up. Nice. I really like this pose.
So having
Nice
that
and uneven.
climb up allows us to get closer with the camera to really sell this next moment. This is another case of like there's a goof, but then it gives us anticipation for you would have him look at his goal.
I just like probably do the eye in more perspective
Gotcha.
because I'm seeing this as looking forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's entirely a taste thing. But yeah, Kevin's another person who's not afraid to let the camera pass their character.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they just have to keep up with the camera all the time, and I think that's a strength to this one as well. Rise! I'd say we could add some anticipation here.
Mm-hmm.
And tick. For this jump. Again, he's really like working his spacing the best he can. Getting that stretch on the foot to go down, but also getting that hang time in the air by not moving the head too much.
Yeah.
Yes! Look at this big open mouth shape because that's what he wants you to see. And then we get this cool impact. And the momentum carries his butt forward. And he straightens out his legs. I really like this pose.
I feel
Something
like
so goofy about just like...
I feel like he's kicking out his legs to get momentum.
But then we start to pull them back and we break the knees a little bit. And look, lovely offset as one leg is travelling down, the other one's up. And it's all being dragged by this head. We see him go up. And then he comes down. I think you could probably add entry frame. Add entry frame. Even make it a blur frame. Just to show that movement coming in. And then wham! It's a great frame. You become Dorito.
That's pretty cool. Like the forces push on either side of the fish to straighten out the silhouette. There's a Dorito emote.
Nice. Let me see this. Okay, so he's still off the floor there. So the shadow should be more like there. I'm putting a shadow on. Which I am. There we go. Yeah. Lovely. And great rotation.
Yeah.
Goofy, but also super efficient and clear.
Tibbs is saying that, well, Emma asked, Kevin has done parkour stuff in real life, hasn't he? He's done like everything.
Yes.
Tibbs says, oh yeah, he used to work in stunts. He knows his stuff with this and everything he's breaking for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is one of the strengths of Kevin's animation is he has great comic timing and the ability to like draw something like almost break some of convention to help like the drawing sell the funniness.
Yeah.
More like in term types where you're like, I would maybe push the perspective here. He might have flattened it out to have the eye feel more garmless. It's interesting like toss up.
Yeah, like Kevin knows his stuff. He's like a super active person. He's done a bunch of sports and stuff. He's got great comic timing.
Yeah.
And like really knows how to sell the simplicity of a drawing. And by simplicity, I mean clarity.
Yep.
You know, how clear it is.
Okay, who are we moving on to next?
It's also super fast. Really cool stuff.
2 hours, guys.
Yeah, 2 hours. Amazing. Let me turn off my note. A little heel click. So fun. My dreams that Kevin will finish this.
Is it the same Kevin who did the Goofy voice for us?
It is, yeah. That's him. Alright, so here we go. Pro tips. So Tibbs has animated the environment, guys.
And a character running over it and stuff.
Let's have a look.
Alright, let me hit play. Ooh.
Whoa, Tib. You really went hard.
Whoa.
That is awesome. These shapes feel so solid. Especially love that rotation there at the end.
Were you working on this yesterday, Tib? Because this might be the one that you uploaded on Monday.
Yeah, that camera movement is amazing. Like, really convincing maintaining of the forms and the volumes and the shapes here. And of the camera panning around it and such. How do you even plan something like this, Tib?
Oh, cool. This is the latest. Awesome. Yeah, Tib was streaming this yesterday.
Wow. Super cool. This frame here, like, I feel like there should be a corner on it. Is this how it would be? Like, I'd be tempted to add a corner here. Would I be wrong? That's the thing. It's like,
I think there is.
Tib knows what she's about, so
there is a corner, but it's not. It's concave almost.
Yeah, like it feels like it should be like that, but I don't know if that's correct. Like actually correct is a thing. Because knowing Tibbs has probably planned this out actually, you know, using proper methods to measure the physics of everything. So
from what I can see, there's like there's a horizon line that things are tapering towards that moves in the camera move. Oh, I don't know.
I can't actually see the horizon line on here though.
It's not drawn.
I'm just trying to find out how to move the
down.
drawings. There we are. That's what I wanted. I want to see where the first drawing of this is. Okay, cool. There we go. That should be a bit clearer there. Cool. Yeah, like I'd be tempted to pop a corner on there. You've got to follow the horizon, India. I don't know, Tib. I don't know what that is, Tib. Like, obviously the horizon here is along this line. But as for the horizon elsewhere, I'm not 100% sure. So I'll critique the thing I can critique, which is the characters. Because, I mean, honestly, Tib, if this is an exercise in you figuring out how to animate a 3D camera and forms in that 3D camera, I'd say you've pretty well succeeded. Because these volumes and shapes all look really solid. And the camera move is really convincing and nice.
I didn't start the timer.
You plan it by hitting your head against the wall till something comes out of it. Like, this is so advanced. It's wonderful. So I see we're going to get some witches, which I'm excited about. I guess the main point of critique I can say is that at the minute the movement feels a bit slow on the characters. So it might be a matter of when you have completely in between this camera move. Like, particularly in the jumps and the falls. But it might be a case of when you've completely in between this camera move, just reanimating the characters over the top, moving with more realistic speed. Because at the minute, and it's maybe a side effect of, you know, planning basically the keys of this camera move, but the movements of the characters themselves are very slow within that space.
Tibbs is saying the second half hasn't been timed at all yet.
Oh, really? Interesting. Let me have a look at the first half. Yeah, because this feels nice.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Woo! I like that rotation around too on the broom. That's nice. I'd be tempted to have the character start closer to the camera and slightly more in perspective. So we have like more of this kind of thing where they're maybe like twisting and looking up that way, even though they're mostly sideways on the broom. I wonder if it's possible to have someone ride a broom a bit like a jockey too, where if they're going really fast, they're like pushing their butt up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You know? But I'd love to like, I think the thing I'd really love to see is like the tail of the broom come by the camera. Super close. Which I think is something we could get if we started off a bit closer. Buddy. I think that would be really fun.
I like that.
This is cool music as well. Let me move this hand because it's throwing me off a little bit. Because one of the things I really like seeing is when people go by cameras super close, the distortion that happens on them because of how close they are to the camera. And the elongating of things as they move away from the camera.
Yeah.
Is something I really love to see. And I'd love to see that on the broom a little bit as we fly by. And then have us swing in the other direction. Around this way. So we're almost starting like doing kind of S-curve. And then we get the back of the broom swinging the other way.
Bish says, next challenge, we animate on this background.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be something. I think it'd be nice to have a little bit of anticipation for this move as well, where I guess I'll call them the antagonist. The antagonist is blasting magic at them. I'd love to see a frame with just like them summoning the power before blasting.
Watcha!
That's probably not the sound effect you had in mind, but
yeah.
There you go.
It's like big anticipation.
I'd push that more as well, like really enlarge that as it gets close to the camera, you know? Make us feel like it's barely missing us as well.
Oh.
Boom, 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 boom. That's the sound of the sonic booms.
R.I.P. broom.
Yeah. I love being able to see figures through magic as well.
Oh,
you
cool.
could use that cool technique where you kind of like cross-hatch them to show that they're still there. Nice arc happening here over the top of that. Yeah, look how Tibbs is basically just tracking the head here.
Yeah.
And we know that the pelvis is going to go in an arc around there as well. Nice landing. Let's see. So I'm just figuring out which leg is which on this. Because you might want something more like this. Just like looking at the positions of the legs there. They kind of feel like they change from one frame to the other, whereas I'm assuming one foot's already on the ground here. So you might want to make sure that foot's really planted. So we don't necessarily have to plant the other one. Let me see what's going on with this upper body. Got like a nice twist going on there. And I wonder if you're spinning around at this point, because this looks like the kind of position you would have if you were spinning. Like, maybe we're facing them at this point. I'm wondering. That'd be nice. And then we're spinning around here. This is a really nice anticipation. I like that.
Yeah, raising the butt up.
Yeah, tucking the head under, raising the butt up, and then going. I feel like you could get even more speed out of that if you really push the chest forward there. Like this. I don't know why I'm tempted to put the other arm up, but I kind of am. It looks like a kind of goofy dancing pose if I do that. So maybe not. But yeah, I think you can get a little bit more speed out of that. Let me just switch to red because it's a little bit easier to see. So.
Thank you.
It's alright. You know. Hold on, what's going on here? What's going on here then?
A camera's moving down.
Yeah, and they're running up to the top of the rooftop.
I don't know. I don't think they're necessarily running up, or more like running along.
But this rooftop is pointed.
Yeah.
So if they're at the top line, that has to be the top point of the roof.
Yeah. But they land close to the top.
If I hide my sketches for a sec, they're not on top of it there.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm assuming that here they are running up along the top of it.
Okay, yeah.
That makes sense. In which case, I think we could maybe get some more perspective on that instead. In which case, I change my answer. I'd probably have them push up more to where they're going. Yay!
Who died, India?
Oh, let me see.
Oh, I see. You're seeing it on the stream. That's fair.
I may have missed it.
Oh no, I'll be coming. It's okay. It's okay. I'll go look. I'll go artworks. Welcome. Thanks for the follow.
You have like the center line down the back. So you could see a little bit of the back is what I'm thinking. Right here. But you still have that super straight line. Yay! And then we's up to the roof. I think you could do a lot with just using like little hash lines here to really show speed. And not even have to necessarily draw the entire figure. I'm just trying to make sure that we're keeping that arc feeling good. Yeah, maybe like this. So I'm giving it like a little over arc there.
Nice.
I really love this pose. Batmaning it. I mean, you can have those sonic booms really like happen. They continue to disperse as well. Very super cool. And then that is lovely. Like, I know it's just a line and and a head, but it's just like that's what you'd build your pose around, right?
Yeah. Tib says, I think one of my biggest issues in this section in terms of acting is that she starts running without really looking for where the villain is actually at. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure of her motivation, and that makes it hard for me to think how she should be moving. You have any advice on that, India?
At the minute, the character looks quite elegant and dancey. Is something that I'm getting from the poses. So I think you could do something like have a takeoff here and almost pirouette and spin round to look behind her as she's running.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then return back around for this jump.
Yeah.
Like, almost like...
You can potentially also have her stumble, and in the stumble look round so that she's not moving as fast. So she goes to kick off and then like hits a slate, grabs the roof, and sort of like turns to look up as she's like pushing off, and then continue the run. Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you see a lot in Ghibli movies. Is like characters don't perform actions perfectly. They have a stumble, or they like do a double take, or like they slide a little bit, and it just gives you that extra sort of layer of humanity to them, I guess. So if you're ever watching a Ghibli film, have a look out for like how they have characters run and do any sort of action. There's a lot of like nuance and mistakes the character themselves are making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me a sec to try and work this out.
Thanks for coming by. Play repeat.
Yeah, thank you very much. Play repeat.
Yeah, Kurzik says, like when Kiki slips on a leaf as she dashes out on the street. She didn't. Oh, that's your timer, India. They didn't have to, but it shows so much character.
Yeah. I can almost see her like spinning around like this as she's anticipating to run that way. Almost like weaving the moves of a dancer into this fight that they're having. Oops. So I think you could maybe tie that into when she's running. And if you have her here, I'm not sure exactly what you're planning for this key here, but if you're having her look towards it as she's jumping over as well. So she's checking positions and then she's like pirouetting behind to look behind her. You would need a few more frames here though. Like during this run up to the top. For her to kind of spin around and again look behind her before she continues running. Then I think that could be cool. But yeah, I mean, what kind of thing do you have in mind for the character? Would you see her as like someone who's like stumbling, trying to get away from someone, kind of on the back foot? Or does she feel like she has it more in hand? I guess those are all things to consider.
Yeah, like, do you have a character in mind that is this witch, or is it like more of an OC?
I'd love to see the return of the broom as well, actually. Like, if she could call it. Or we could see it, like... Might be fun to see it, like, come along next to her. Like, it pulls up in frame, like it's kind of following along.
You just reminded me of that, the anime where the girl's friend is a chair. And it, like, takes her to school.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Tib says, I would see her here as caught off guard by losing her broom, but confident that she can get back on track. The plan was for her to call her broom at the end, but then it returns to her in 2 pieces.
Oh no! That's so sad.
That's cool. That's really nice to build the story around.
I like the story a lot. See.
Top 10 anime betrayals. I don't think the broom intended to snap itself in half.
It knew all along.
Ah, that's a really compelling premise.
Yeah, I like it a lot. You got some nice strong poses going on immediately though. Like this slide down as well. And it feels like here she could be looking up as well. We're seeing where this villain is.
That's true, you could have that stretch across the chest as they they're going down, but they're also looking up.
I think I'd be tempted here to push her a little bit higher on the jump. Just so when she lands, it feels like she's landing from a higher place and you have more leave to really like stretch out that leg in anticipation of the landing. So maybe to stretch out leg more.
Okay, the character is intended to eventually be Marissa from Toho as well, but I'm guessing that doesn't mean much to most people here.
Yeah,
I've not seen Toho.
I haven't either, but maybe you can give us a little rundown just of like the basics. There we are. Like, I feel like if we're coming from up here instead.
I'm giggling a little bit. Tibbs is saying this is a part where I couldn't figure out the landing, so I hid it behind a building.
Nice. I mean, only Tib would be like, I can't figure out how this character lands, so I guess I'll animate a really complex 3D structure slowly rotating in front of them so that I don't have to deal with the hard stuff.
That's why I was giggling. All right. I think once you've like figured out how to help Tib with this landing, we should move on. Because if the rest isn't timed out, then we can do more.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't timed out, but there's still poses. But
there's still poses, yeah, but we can help Tib at the next thing.
Oh, can we?
Yeah.
What if Tib's not at the next thing? What if Tib is still working on this because she didn't get enough feedback?
Whatever, man.
I think it'd be cool to like have her take the weight down and show a bit of foreshortening on her shoulders here so we can see the top of her body more. Are you really getting like that twist and perspective into the characters? Okay.
Would you mind if I went to get a sandwich?
Yeah.
Alright.
Hold your horses.
What?
Hold them.
Okay.
Pet them. Tell them you love them.
Are you serious?
Don't hear it from you enough, do they? Why'd you even get horses if you're not going to spend any time with them?
Oh, there was once a joke, it was a horses that Mike had, but he didn't understand the joke, and now he's just a little bit sad. What are you talking about, India? What are you talking about? He just wanted to get a sandwich, India. He's just a hungry bear.
Okay, you can go and get a sandwich.
No, it's okay.
Go on.
No, it's okay.
There's no way to win. Let's see. Yeah. Like,
weird flex,
we
but
could go
okay.
into a roll from there. Or anything else? I'm picturing this knee being on the floor, by the way. Basically folding forwards. You need to show an indication of that, the leg just behind, to make it super clear. And then that knee would probably come up here. More like that. And then you could use that to do a roll or anything else you wanted. Which should be fun. But definitely like rotating that body over. Rotate the body over.
Tibbs, is it intended that I guess it is intended that the building that's about to wipe the screen will be solid. With the way that you've used the soft eraser and the smudginess, it looks like a sheet of glass when it rolls over.
Right, this is just a general note to push the foreshortening and perspective in the poses and to work with overlap more.
You'll need to add a U to your push.
Oh, is it not there?
Nope.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, because there's some nice overlap going on with some of these poses. But I think you could push it even more. That the poses feel a little less flat on. And have a little more nuance to them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously some of these are stick figures, so so I have no clue like how they might have ended up. You might be picturing in your head a lot of that stuff already. But for the ones which are slightly more fleshed out, I think you could push some of that for shortening and perspective a little bit more. This is like my favourite pose. Gorgeous. So nice. You really feel like the form there.
Yeah.
You really feel the contours and everything at work. Super nice.
Tibbs is totally capable of that stuff.
Well,
So
yeah.
go for it, Tib.
You guys have seen Tib turn around far more complex things than humans.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. If it is a burger or a sandwich.
I do have burgers.
Aren't sandwiches generally cold?
No. You can have hot sandwiches. Bacon sandwich is a hot sandwich.
That's true.
Don't you be to bringing your temperature limits here?
Okay, I guess a burger is a sandwich.
Yeah.
But the thing that a burger is denoting is the burger, not the bread.
Yeah.
So
I think you would call it a burger.
I think a burger is
roll.
classified as a sandwich.
Wow, yeah.
In the same way you can put bacon into a sandwich. But yeah, awesome work, Tib. Super cool to see someone interpret like the challenge in a completely different way as well. Totally unexpected. Like, super impressive camera work here. I really hope you do more with this.
Yeah.
Like, I really would love to see this finished off. I'd be worried about saying to give yourself any more work after this bit to do, because it's already, like, it's pretty long. You've done a lot in a short amount of time.
Oh, Dark Vault, this was done in Krita. But it looks like it's done on paper. Yeah.
Like, especially the way that these, like, the rubber lines leave the indication of what they've rubbed out behind.
Mm-hmm.
That looks super traditional.
Alright, next up, Pal Bro.
Oh, Pal Bro!
Pal Bro.
Okay, which one am I looking at?
This one.
Oh, this one! Cool!
Yeah.
Is that a Delcatty?
It might be a Delcat.
That looks like a Delcatty to me.
Let me play it through.
Okay. Yeah! Oh, nice. Oh shit, we got attacked!
Go, Pal Bro.
Go, Pal Bro!
It's a leopard.
You should look that up. I'm pretty sure that's a Pokemon. Is that the... Let's see. Yes! That's the one I was thinking of. I said Delcatty, but I meant this thing. I get confused between the cat Pokemon all the time.
At the end, it used foreshortening and it was super effective.
Nice! Yeah, I'm pasting you. There you go. So you can see, guys. Yeah, this is super nice, Palbro. Thank you very much for using the blocking. It makes it much easier to see stuff. You've got like a really nice sense of this Pokemon in the space. I think I love the way that you're interacting with different elements of the space.
Yeah.
And the size and scale of the Pokemon feels appropriate to where it is in the space. Pretty much all the time. The only exception to that, I'd say, would be this little bit here, where I didn't quite clock that it was meant to be on one of the background pillars.
Those background ones are supposed to be quite far away, just with the way that the camera moving the parallax. Yeah,
because the size between these two is pretty comparable in terms of how big the Delcatty is.
Yeah.
But I would maybe expect the Delcatty to be... I'll do a little drawing next to it. Maybe like this big?
Yeah.
Or something on these background ones. So I just kind of read it as being in the air, which worked anyway. Like, I didn't see anything off about it when I actually watched it through in motion. We turn the holds off.
It's really difficult to tell the scale in this. Because there's nothing over there. If I were to improve the background on this, I would add windows and details.
Well, it doesn't help that all of your squares are different sizes.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have one uniform square size over everything.
No.
It's like the ones on these things that the Delcatty, that the Lipard is on at the minute are much smaller than the floor ones.
Yeah.
And the ones in the background are stretched.
Yeah.
So we need more bananas for scale everywhere.
Okay.
That's what we need.
That's my bad.
Let's have a look through.
I just wanted something in the background so that you could see that the camera was moving and that you got that parallax feel. But I'll do better next time, you guys. Mike,
you did an awesome job.
I'll do better though.
Okay.
I already had another idea for the camera move.
Beautiful, beautiful work. So the first thing I'm noticing right up at the beginning is that cats really kind of move like fluid, like water. So I think in this first bound forward into a pounce, you could really show that kind of wave-like motion with the back. So we can see here the Delcat is pushing forward. And then the back legs start to catch up with the front, and we get this nice wave happening. Let me put the holds back on. And then I think you want it to coil even more as the front legs make contact and squash down into this kind of squash position. Yeah. While the top legs are going to continue through the air. Bringing that butt up. Cha-cha-cha-cha. Dragging the tail from the base there. And then we have this like settle skid in. Where I'm thinking maybe you'd have both paws on the ground here. Let's see. I can't quite tell if this is when it contacts the ground. If this is all meant to be a jump. Because there's enough a difference between these two frames for me to feel like maybe this is meant to be a contact.
Yeah, that one with the feet close together feels like the contact.
This one?
Boom, yeah.
Okay, one sec. Let me go back. One sec. Sometimes I forget where I've put the drawings on these. There we go. In that case, these would continue to stretch forward. Probably have more of this kind of thing. As the feet prepare to land as well, because the front paws are going to touch down first.
Mm-hmm. I like that you're sort of shorthanding it as a sort of like a bean with two sort of weights at either end.
Yeah, I'm trying to kind of work backwards from this pose. Because I can see that between here and here, obviously the background's moving. So this line here for the paws is about the same as this line here. So it makes sense where this contact position is. So let's see. Whoa, 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 whoa. So the back will be really bunched up here because the front paws are going to land first, and then the back legs are going to follow through after them. So the back legs are preparing for landing as the front legs are touching down. So we're almost going to get this kind of
Squeeze.
squish. And then there might be a slight offset on the back foot. And then when this contacts here and pushes down,
I think we're losing a little bit of volume on the head scale as well from one frame to the next there.
I think maybe it's just increasing a bit on this frame.
Okay.
But only a tiny bit.
Yeah, you're
It's
right.
nothing that a second pass over isn't going to be
Resolve.
able to fix.
Yeah. I forgot to start the timer, didn't I?
Here we go. And then continuing this wave motion, which is a whipping up as the feet come to touch down. May have made the toes a little bit too long there. There we go.
I think what I'm seeing a lot here in your drawovers is that you are like pulling the back end of the cat for like turning it away from us, so that they're running in the perspective of the top plane there.
Yeah.
So as well as moving that the back of the cat and squishing it towards the front legs, you're also sort of like pulling it away. Like, I wish I could like hand gesture to you all.
Maybe one day we'll get webcams and we will be able to hand gesture to you all.
But it's helping, giving that sense of foreshortening, and also like the overlaps of those two volumes at the front and the back of the cat.
Yeah, because as we're going further forward, the cat is almost rotating around more in space.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to see more where the neck would overlap, which means the head would be a little bit further back here, because it's starting to overlap the body more as we're coming more in front. But then, once these back legs have touched down, we're going to get this bum come down. Here, like this. And this is a really nice tail shape for this pose as well. And then when it's getting ready to go forward again, the bum is coming down below the top half of the body, which is starting to push up. So it's very much like an offset wave motion. And I'd be tempted here to keep one paw on the ground just to begin with. As it pushes off. And then you can remove that paw from the ground the next frame.
Just so there's some more consistency between paw placement and give you more time to read that paw coming down.
Yeah, just so we can see that the front legs are helping to push off. Like, gotcha. It's not all coming from the back. They're not like standing up only on their back legs with their front legs coming forward.
Yeah.
So I like this front pose here. It's nice.
We saw our flatmate Declan feed the cat that lives with us some chicken, and he was holding it above her, and it was interesting to see that at certain heights Buffy would remain flat-footed for stability and like stretch all of her like torso up to get that stretch, whereas when it went slightly higher she would have to like do a more of a quicker movement way up, but lift those like the flats of her feet way up so she's on her toes again. It's just really cool. Like, I would have expected her to jump each time, but when she didn't have to, she went for like stability to stay up longer.
Expend the least amount of energy possible.
Well, she just looked more stable, and she was able to raise up onto her back feet, and really aim to get where his hand was. And she wasn't using her paws, which was interesting. Sometimes she'd like go up and grab with her paws. She's really reaching with her face.
See,
it was adorable.
Yeah. So I'd say here you want to like bring these back legs through and then launch the front up above the back. And then this jump, we want that to flow into the shape a little bit more, I think. Boop, 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 boop. So let's see. Taking off from probably the back legs should still be rooted to about there. So I'd probably just bring it down a little bit in terms of the height. So we can see the arc of where it's jumping from more. In terms of getting those feet almost connected to the floor, almost like a stretch frame, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's almost still in contact with the floor as it jumps. Just with its back legs. And then we can get it fully into the air, the frame afterwards, maybe. So it gives it a bit more time for the body of the cat to like fold and unfold.
Yeah, at the moment it feels like they're lifting straight up, but they'd be jumping forward.
Yeah, so probably the head would overlap a little bit more than I have it here. Let's see, and what's the previous motion been? Probably this paw, because it started moving up first, would be stretched forward more. And then this one would be in like this kind of pose. Oh geez, what did I do?
What did you do?
Oh, nothing. I didn't do anything. There we go. See, this one is dragging slightly behind because it was behind on the previous frame, so it's going to take a little min to catch up while this one stretches forward. I wonder if we should just snap it forward instead, or just make sure it's like in perspective.
Notice how both Palbro and India are using like a circle to denote like the main head shape. Like these construction shapes and volumes can help you simplify down more of a complex character and really figure out how those different shapes will overlap one another in space.
That's the main thing, is like it really helps with thinking of it as a 3D shape.
Yeah.
Instead of just a 2D character.
So we draw it as a circle, but we're thinking of it as a sphere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why we have these construction lines going around the head to show which orientation it is.
If you hear us talk about contours or cross contours, those construction lines showing the facing direction of the head, that's a contour. So we can see how the midpoint of the sphere can change in relation to us as the viewer. I can do commentary like this. I'm finding my groove.
Aw.
Hmm.
It's awesome to have you here, Mike. I appreciate your input. And then we want to really stretch out on the next frame, which is when the back feet will come up. I'm just kind of feeling this out.
I noticed that you are diverting quite a lot from Pabro's original. I think this is important to show that the arc of the motion.
I think I could go higher with this arc now that I'm drawing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to adjust that. I hardly ever draw anything like right the first time.
Yeah.
My process of animating is very much a trial and error thing. Like I know what I'm going for, but it takes me flipping between the drawings to figure out if I'm actually hitting what I'm going for or not.
Yeah, you find it's important to keep checking that you're following the correct motion by flipping back and forth.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like Pablo kind of wants the head up a little bit higher. I can see from his. and almost wants to like look at it from below.
Yeah, there's so many different layers to this. There's like the mechanical physics of forms moving through space.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also the character performance layer that has to motivate the mechanics. So if you go simply from like, this is how a cat would jump, then that's almost like removing a little bit of the layer of how would this particular cat be jumping. And that's really comes down to...
Yeah, is this like a mangy, scrawny, stray cat?
Yeah.
That's like super hungry and thrifty and kind of just wants to steal a bunch of food? Or is this like a super pampered show cat that's been taught to like walk in a certain way?
Yeah, it's like action versus, or action with acting on top. That's what makes animating such a hard thing.
One of the many things.
To fully grasp.
And then we can still get this nice under view that Palbro has, because I like that a lot.
Yeah, where you can really feel the stretch of that cat. Hey Haruko, welcome.
Hey Haruko, how's it going? Whoop, 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 whoop. So we have the back legs folding up, whereas the front legs are stretching out now to try and like reach forward. Head is coming up. So yeah, I think the difference is that in this motion, I'm kind of thinking of the arc is coming kind of this way.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think from the positions of the lipod on Palbro's current frames, it feels more like the jump is happening that way.
Yeah.
Let me... So I'm trying to rotate around the cat as we go. If you see? So it's not always side on. It's starting to jump toward us.
Yeah, that first camera move is tricky that way because it does start off
Oops.
looking more side on at your character, but it pulls away fairly fast.
Yeah. Like, look at foreshortening. I really like pushing that, what would you call it? The exaggeration of perspective. Forcing that perspective? Is there a word for it when you like really like elongate something toward the camera?
You can use the term foreshortening, like exaggerated foreshortening.
Yeah, but it feels like there has to be, because there's foreshortening, and then there's like, I made this hand 3 times bigger than it was meant to be to really push the point that this is in front of everything else.
For lengthening? For scaling?
Super foreshortening. Keyframe!
Wow, thank you.
Thank you so much for the subscription, dude.
3 months.
Extreme foreshortening.
You got
Heck yeah.
yourself some bacon.
Sounds good. So yeah, I just continue that motion, try and really push it in perspective.
This music.
See, this is, yeah. See, it feels like you're doing it here. Like, this is really nice.
Yeah.
I like these poses. These are nice. Where it starts to like summon powers. I almost feel like it starts to twist over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then stops.
It feels like pulling a snowboard move.
I think like maybe it's the arc of the head, because I think maybe you want to be like, ha-ya! And then it's like charging down. So I'd say like just continue the arc of that head over. So you would be here, maybe, and then here, and then here, and then here. Like, I want a stretch frame. I want a stretch frame here. But we have some nice perspective going on here with the head that we could continue up here.
See you, Francis.
See you, Francis.
I like that.
And then it's like, now my head's snapping down and I'm ready to go. And I'm diving. Like this. See what these paws are doing too. Could keep that paw dragging a little bit. Just there. And then, yeah, like this pose, this is nice. And then we ping the arms forward here, which is exactly what you're doing. I would just love to see it like really... Should be doing this in a colour that isn't purple so you can see it better. Like, wow! And then we have that impact. And another chance for you to really like bunch up that butt. Send it coming over the top here. Like, I landed. I landed hard on my spine. Oh, Jesus.
Pablo says, my sploin.
My sploin. Oh, you know. I probably wouldn't actually show the other leg around there because I feel like it would be almost like that. Like you would almost see the other hip coming up. And then like strong power pose. Kind of almost want it to be like legs splayed. I'm your worst nightmare.
Glad to hear that. Palbro.
What's it?
Palbro says, I appreciate this so much. I'm learning so much.
Oh, I really hope so. I hope it's helpful.
Thank you. It's okay, you guys. I covered my face with my elbow.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be really cool to have like almost a power pose here.
Power pose.
It's a great pose. Because you're like, oh, ah, I am the one who knocks. And then this is a really nice anticipation. Watch the mass here. That it doesn't grow. Watch my yes. It's nice. With that stretch, I think you want to uncoil the legs after this pose. I really like this. With the body starting to move up, but those back legs staying behind. But then I think here you might want to like... As well as bringing them on the tiptoes to uncoil that back part a little bit.
Yeah. Because it kind of feels like the body is lengthening. A little bit unnaturally there.
The most powerful being.
It makes a dark pulse at the landing. Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
We don't know Pokemon very well. Well, I don't.
We know it enough to know that's a Pokemon move.
Yeah.
And that it's cool that you incorporated the actual Pokemon's moves into this.
Yeah.
That's super awesome. Maybe start to unfold one of the legs here. So again, we have a little bit of unevenness going on. And then you can trail this leg behind a little bit on the front. While this one reaches forward.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Pablo was saying that they didn't get to do the quadruped jump. So they were combining the quadruped jump with this one.
That's awesome. Hey, nice going, pal, bro. 2 in 1.
He's got lots of... It's interesting, like that previous challenge was like, have the quadruped jump once. And this challenge is now like, have the quadruped jump
a million
lots
times.
of times. Yeah.
It's true. But I mean, there's no better way to get used to it than to just do it a lot of times, is a thing.
Yeah. You recently animated a cat. Do you think that's helping with this?
Did I?
Yeah.
When?
Oh, I guess you inked a bit of a cat
What?
in the
Oh,
thing.
You mean I've been inking a lion?
No, the little cat.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Luckily, that is so covered in fur that the anatomy is less important.
Oh, I see.
Because it's essentially just a fur puff with some legs poking out.
Ah.
So let's see. Let's feel like at this point you could have the back legs off the floor. Again. And be having that jump happen. Maybe reverse the spine a little bit. Going into this. This is a really nice... I really like this spine that you have here.
That's very true, Pablo. You animated a lion way back when.
I did, way back when. Man. I feel like because I haven't kept up practice with that kind of stuff, a lot of the stuff I learned when doing that, I'm going to have to relearn.
I think you're putting it into practice here.
But definitely I look at that now and it's like, oof. I can see some things that don't feel very convincing on that lion. But that's the way with making work, I guess, is you're always going to look at your old stuff and be like, eh.
Alright, I think figure out any more additional notes you want to give Pablo for this.
Okay.
And then we're on to the next person.
Okay. This is great though, pal bro. I really like it. I guess here, make sure that you keep the butt in the same place. Keep butt. Remember, when in doubt, keep butt. I gave it 3 T's. 3 T's for the butt. Yeah, I think the thing that I'm seeing most is like the takeoffs. The takeoffs that you have with your cat at the minute. You may be keeping the feet lingering for a little too long. This is nice, but I think you might want to ping the feet in a bit sooner here. And maybe have the cat go a little bit further in space. So I think you could maybe work on spacing things a little bit further apart when you feel like you have the ability to, you have the leave to do that with the animation, you have the space to do that. Try taking the spacing you currently have with the anticipations and such, which are working really well at the minute, and contrast those with some larger spacing for parts like the takeoffs here, to really feel like the character is being propelled forward.
So larger spacing on the takeoffs, smaller spacing at the peaks of the arcs, larger spacing as they fall towards the ground, closer spacing as they land.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Like, Palbro's already got some nice spacing in here that's working really well. I just think you could push the spacing a little bit when it comes to them actually taking off. When it comes to the larger spacing, you could push that a little bit. So keep an eye on your arcs.
Kurzak has 69,000 Doig bucks.
Whoa. What
like...
was it they came up with the other day? Emlet suggested something that we could do with like a bunch of Doig books.
I don't remember. Was it a serious suggestion?
Yeah, I remember being like, oh, maybe. What was it?
Oh, he's not here.
Ah! He's not gonna get away with this!
Whoa! What if Julia? Thank you for the
Whoa,
raid!
what if Julia? Hey there! Thank you so much for the raid.
Holy, hello.
Wow, geez, hey guys. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
are Doig and Swift. We're a couple of animators. You've just stumbled into our animation
breakfast challenge. Which is a weekly challenge that we run for animators everywhere and anywhere.
How are you all doing? Julia, how was your stream? What were you up to?
And we're just critiquing a bunch of the animations that were done for the challenge.
We're currently looking at Palbro Fella's animation, who you might be familiar with.
He's animated a Lipard, which is a Pokemon, doing this assault course. So basically, my pal Mike here made a 3D environment for people to animate over. Thank you guys so much for the follows, by the way. You guys rock. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You did Bloodborne. Oh, amazing. I'm playing through that with my dad at the moment. He's I've never played it before, and I keep calling him an expert and he keeps telling me not to. But he's on like his 4th, 5th playthrough, and he's been playing through it. He's played through it twice now, while I've been playing through it for the first time. And he's been on voice chat with me. I'm just gonna turn that down.
Thank you guys so much. We've got so many extra lives now.
Yeah. My dad is like in his 60s and he's still gaming away. His favorite gaming series is the From Software games. So he's been helping me through Bloodborne.
See, and remember, Palbro, that as the Lipard comes to land, you're going to want to coil that butt up and have it start to catch up with the motion.
We're going to keep attempting to give Palbro feedback, but thank you so much for all the follows.
Remember that wave motion? Well, just because we have limited time to do so.
Yeah. But
we really, really appreciate you guys following us. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys had a good stream. What were you all up to?
Yeah. Also, I'll do a little bit of an introduction for Indy and I. I'm Doig. This is... Thank you so much. This is India Swift.
Thank you.
For the most part, we've been making animated music videos as part of Knights of the Light Table. If you're not familiar with Knights, here's their website. And yeah, we worked on things like Starlight Brigade for the band Twerp, where Dan Avidan was singing on that, and more recently the music video for Magnum Bullets for the band Nightrunner.
My sub ran out, but it's worth it to me. Now I'm subscribed for month number 3 Doig GSWK.
That's a nice little poem you got there.
Thank you, Seventh.
Thank you. Now you've got bacon, Seventh. Thank you so much for subscribing again. It means a lot. Thank you. It really helps us out. We very much appreciate it. And we're also super happy that it's worth it to you. That's great to hear.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Sam goes, fuck, yeah, bacon.
Every sub-month I'm going to add another ingredient to our sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Make sure you're pushing forward on this frame. Just because this is the frame where your character's going to leave the ground. So you want to make sure that you're pushing forward the position here. I really like the way that you've done this vanishing. It actually reminds me of Sonic a lot. The way that you have this, that's super fun. I really like that power and it's working super well. Also, lovely pose here. This is a gorgeous pose. And it's so cool to see the character interacting with the environment in this way. Yay!
You need an S in there because it says Poe on my screen. Not sure why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, let me
There
go
you
over that. Sometimes it doesn't catch up with me. I'm too fast.
Too fast, Swifty.
It's good anticipation. I feel like as well as going down, you could go down and in.
So there's more of an arc.
Yeah, and you're squashing the body more. Whoop, whoop. And then you could really get a stretch with this. And be careful not to lose the perspective. Here on the character.
When I was 7 or 8, we went on vacation to Florida and there was a dove with a hurt wing. In the week I was there, I fed and cared for the bird until it was on the second to last day it flew away. Aw, Pesman.
Aw, that's a really nice story.
Aw.
That's super cute.
Sanrenio was saying, I require a burb good story, Pez.
Aw.
That's a good burb story.
That is a good burb story. I rate that 5 seeds out of 5 for good burb story.
Good burb seeds.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was just going to say when you were introducing us that yeah, if you've heard of NSP, Ninja Sex Party, the band, and you like them, then you've probably seen a bunch of the videos that we've worked on.
Yeah. Umbical says, I'm waiting for the motivation to do digital art to return. Oh, right now all I want to make is pretty gardens.
Then just make pretty gardens and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's the best way. The best way to get motivated to do art again is don't even think about it. And before you know it, you'll be making art again.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to thank...
You can thank everybody.
Yeah, Grammaton Gaming, Space Mage 33, Grumpy, Spirit Noodle.
Grumpy Spirit Noodle.
No, that's 2 people.
Okay.
Grumpy.
Both fantastic names.
It's like Grump. Nostalgia Gaming, 898, Homebickles. Sanrenio, thank you for the tier 1 sub for What If Julia. So kind. Thank you so much for the sub to 7th. Oh my gosh. Commodore Morgan, Xeno Sheep, Wolf Sky 285, nice. Snake Link Sonic, Scud Puddle, The Vice Me, Mitchy DB, Sheikah Wolf, Osako, Gamer Zelia, Indie cool. J53, Junk Garage, JM99. Thank you so much for the follows.
Nice perspective there.
Okay.
I almost wrote nice, but it's got an I. Nice perspective. Yeah, thank you guys all so much. You guys rock.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah, and thank you very much for this awesome animation, Palbro. I think that's everything I can give it right now in such a short time, but I hope it was helpful. And this is wonderful.
I think next up is Kara. Ooh.
Really, really fun. Super cool.
Really
nice job.
Cool, like, use of the environment.
Yeah. Especially this bit on the pole. It's so nice to have something go so close to the camera and then so far away. So cool to see you playing in a space like this. Nice job. Oh my gosh, Crowmail!
Crowmail!
Ah! Hello, crow friend.
Hello.
What have we got here? What's this? It's on parcel paper. I don't know why. It's from Haruko-san. Haruko says, "Good crow burb wants the scritches. Give him the scritches." He was stamps. Oh! Oh! There you go, friend.
Yeah, I'll play. I'll play the animation through for. Can you play the animation through for the Raiders of Palbros?
The Raiders.
Can you play Palbros animation through for the Raiders?
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, cool.
But I will play it again. Oh, let me turn off the notes on it first. There we are. So you can see it without my scribbles over the top.
Super cool, Palbro.
I love burbs. They're so cute. Nice job, Palbro. Mitchy DB, you never watched any kind of animation work, but this looks really dope. Animation's the dopest, my dude. It's so cool. Everyone here should become an animator today. I don't have any agenda. You have an agenda.
All right. Next up is Kara's.
Where is that?
I think you're on it now.
Kara.
Yeah.
As in Kevin's Kara.
Kevin's Kara.
Kevin's Kara.
So they did a 3D animation.
Oh my gosh, this character is cool. I like this. Okay, let's have a look. That's nice. I love that little bit at the end here where it's like, hey, wait, the camera's I'm over here.
That's a nice little flavor. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it makes it look very deliberate that the camera leaves him behind. Uses it as a punchline.
So if you're curious about what we're doing, we released this
Lovely
3D environment with the camera move out onto Twitter as an Animorning challenge. And animators have been animating characters traversing the environment. And so we're just looking through to see if there's anything that we can give feedback on, or India's doing drawovers to help really push people's skills. So we do this on a weekly basis. And if any of you are interested, the next one is a dance challenge. We've challenged animators to animate someone or something grooving. I think it's to 160 beats per minute. And what we'll do is next Monday we'll gather everyone's entries and put them together to a music track, just for a bit of animation fun and collaboration together.
Yeah, the challenge is basically designed to allow people to flex their animation muscles on their downtime, because often people are so busy, caught up with work, that there's nothing small for them they feel they can hop onto to really like flex and try out new stuff. So hopefully the animation challenge gives them like an outlet for that.
Humbickles, the program that we're currently doing the drawovers in is a website called SyncSketch. The program that the environment was made in was Blender. But we provided like a .mov QuickTime movie and also the Blender file for any 3D artists. And anyone's welcome to use any software that they have.
Yes.
To animate over with those tools.
So my first note here is just to look to strengthen that opening pose a little bit. Because at the minute, the opening pose, like, it's a little weak in terms of expressing about the character what they're about to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you could strengthen that a little bit. Just separate out the limbs a bit, give it a bit more breathing room. And then we have this cool anticipation. One thing I'm noticing about the anticipation, though, is it doesn't really feel like the body is moving down much. So I feel like you could really push that body down. Try and separate out that leg silhouette if you can. Try to separate leg silhouette.
Coffee Doodles has got some noodles.
Coffee Doodles got some noodles. Wop, wop, wop.
I love your hockey noise.
This is nice. You've got to watch that tail for the arm silhouette. Make sure it's not interfering. If you can flip that tail for the anticipation, then that might help. Nice angle on the head. Really like this character. Siri's trying to help us. Lovely character.
Coffee Doodles also did some doodles. Yes.
Coffee Noodles did some doodles.
Is that what I said?
No, that's what I said. Lovely character model. Sometimes when I'm saying two things at once, I get distracted about what I'm writing. And I just start writing random stuff. This is awesome. Love that leg stretch. Really cool to see you distorting the model to get a more bang for your buck.
I think potentially that far arm, you could lose it less behind the head.
Yeah. If you can as well, then like try and have the spine or back of body or body line, I guess, body line to follow the leg line in one smooth, long line.
So that you can feel the force going all the way through the form, through the figure.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something that you can see a lot in Wouter Tulps, both his artwork and the courses that he provides. I'll type that into chat. He talks a lot about forces acting on a character, both in character design and also like in movement. You did a workshop with him some years ago.
Yeah.
India.
D and Doodles. Dungeons and Doodles. So this is super cool too. Nice silhouette here. Nice line of action going through the character.
Yeah, that's lovely.
I feel like you should maybe de-stretch the leg a little bit here. Just so we get the feeling that it's going back in. More about the bass, no treble.
Ah, Commodore Morgan, you're very welcome. Hopefully you can break through your art block. If you have any questions or anything that you would be seeking advice on, we're totes here. We want to help folks as best we can, because we know it's a struggle sometimes to overcome demotivation, or if you're just not sure what you want to do next or what to work on next. It can sometimes be like there's almost too many choices and you're not sure which one is the best for you. In circumstances like that, I would advise this. I mean, India might also say this, because I'm kind of ad-libbing.
Maybe I won't, just because I want to be contrarian.
Maybe, but I was giving this advice last night, where it's like, just find something small, get a quick win. Like, don't try and make the next best thing you've ever made, and have fun with it. Something small and stupid, maybe, that doesn't have a lot of pressure attached. And maybe you have an idea, and before the doubt can settle in on it, you just make it. Something small. See how it feels. Get a taste. Hello, Buffy.
It's almost impossible to make something without feeling like, partway through the process, what's even the point? Is it even good? Is anyone even going to like this? Why am I even doing this? This is stupid. But you've got to push through that and believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You don't need anybody to believe in you when you believe in yourself. Have the bravery to believe in yourself. My notes here are just to try and separate out the silhouette as much as possible.
Ambush your fear with productivity.
Yes.
Yeah, Patrick on a stream, our friend Patrick Stannard was talking about, he used to do things like cliff jumping or cliff diving. I don't think he jumped cliffs.
That would be amazing. Like the Hulk.
And he found that the longer he spent at the top looking over the edge, the less likely he would be to jump. And that by doing that and learning that he could overcome his fear just by like not giving himself enough time to think about it, he's applied that sort of mentality to a lot of the other creative endeavors he's done, where it's like, you're more capable than you know, and if you don't give yourself the time to question it, don't do anything dangerous. We're talking about like artistic creative stuff here. If you just sort of have an idea and go for it, like, it might not work out, but if you have fun in the process, you're allowed to make mistakes and to learn from them. So
to err is human. To forgive
is human.
Godly.
I've got a cat on my knee now.
Buffy's come to visit. Yeah. Hey, Buffy. She never sits on me though.
She coming? Oh, here she coming.
Is she coming? Hey, Buffs.
She's gonna rub herself against your monitor.
Hey. Sweetheart. Aw. Some really fun poses here. Look at this. This is awesome. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. Wah! Wah! That's amazing.
I saw that it was good advice. I'm trying to scroll up to read it. Seventh says, my best advice for any kind of creative block is this. Place a totally arbitrary limitation on your project. If you can, look for something you usually do and say to yourself, I'm not allowed to do that for this project.
Fun.
Make it a problem to solve, and it'll instantly become more interesting and fun.
That's really awesome. Cool. Yeah, limitations breed creativity.
That's one of the reasons that we say for this Anna Morning Challenge is aim to do it in 3 hours, because that's not a lot of time, but it's enough time to do something. And if you don't feel like you have to spend like the whole week on it, it's a little liberating.
It's a little easier to get into if you don't feel like you're going to be up against people who have the ability to put 40 hours into reanimation for the week, whereas you only have the ability to put in an hour and a half. Like, it evens the playing field out a little bit, I think. The shape. Push the shapes here a little bit. I love this. This is fantastic. And that is also fantastic. Fantastic.
That is super good.
Look at that squash. That's amazing. How much you can push it.
There's no chicken to feed you.
Let's see, I wonder if... So this is on 1, 2. So that's on 1, but that holds for 2. Let me just see how that looks in motion again.
Amelia said that's
oh
how
no,
I
that looks great.
off a 3rd floor onto a mat. What? That's so cool. Everyone else took like 10 minutes on the rail, but I made sure to only take 3 seconds and then leap. Nice. Wow. Buffy agrees.
Separate out that hand a little bit. This is pretty nice.
Kurt is saying, I got really frustrated with my first attempt at this parkour challenge though, to the point where it became kind of self-destructive. I decided to put it aside for a moment and just watch a movie to make myself feel better.
That sounds like a great solution. This shouldn't, like, don't let this become a source of terrible pressure for you. This project. It's meant to alleviate pressure, you know? And just give you something to have fun with. Because you put enough pressure on ourselves every day in doing the stuff that we do just daily, that we have to do. If animation like this becomes a source of pressure too, it's really unpleasant. Just working to like try and separate out this silhouette a little bit. It means that the arms won't go up as high, but it means that the silhouette itself will be a bit more readable.
It means there's a little chance to have the arms like drag a little.
Yeah, I mean they already do that a bit. Like they're already going up. But it's just that when they go up, they're overlapping a little bit on the head. Like when you have a character that's entirely silhouette, that's like one of the times when overlap can actually be a problem. Let's see what we got here.
I think when you find that you are, you feel like you're at a skill level, and then you face something, as you're saying, Kurzik, something you're not really used to, it challenges your perception of your abilities, because when you find that you're not hitting it with the same level you thought you were at, you then have to face the realization of that you might not be quite as good as you thought you were. But in that moment you have a choice. You can either be like, well, this is my chance to improve and make that not the case, or you have a chance to like shirk away and you're like, well, you know, I'll try that some other time. And I think realizing that these obstacles can be challenges that will push you up rather than keep you down is it's healthy to realize that you're in a space where you have room to grow, and that's a good thing. Because if you never feel that, I think you're probably plateauing, and you might be making good work, and that's also okay. That's perfectly fine. I don't know where I'm leading with this, but I think realizing that you've walked into a space where there's room for you to grow, can be challenging in and of itself. So it's tough. Yeah, it is tough. Please help to make that a more of a positive. Give me a little ski jump at the end of that.
One of the problems you're going to find with these critique sessions is that giving these drawers actually takes a bit of my brain power.
Okay, fair
and
enough.
So I can't completely be on in the discussion and also on in the critiques at the same time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because then I lose what I was drawing or why I was drawing it.
Gotcha. I'll keep rambling. You don't need to.
It's
say
okay.
else.
Like what were you saying?
Realizing that you've walked into a space where you the thing that you're doing is going to challenge you and knock against your self-perception of your own skill level. I have a thing for this though. There's a singer called Dan Vasc who made a video. He like at the end
So
of
you
one
don't
of his
need me
videos,
at all. This is fine.
I know. I do need you. I like you.
Oh.
He says the statement where it's like it's good because it's bad. And like he gives a bunch of examples, but it's sort of the thing of like if you're having a bad experience of something, it's good because you have an opportunity to learn from it. So like one of the examples he was like, your girlfriend's cheated on you. That's good. Because it lets you learn that that person doesn't respect you and that you can move on from them. Like it's a bad experience to go through, but it's good because you'll be better off from it. So implying that to like it's good that you're feeling frustrated with this challenge because it gives you something to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the two are really comparable. Like feeling like you've reached the limit of your skill level and you're challenged by something, I don't think it's quite the same as someone being an ass to you in your life being a good thing.
But you have the chance to wallow in like, oh, they've been terrible to me, or you can be like, well, at
least I'm out of a bad situation.
Yeah.
I do think that's a matter of like the perspective you take on a situation.
Yeah.
I don't think the situation's necessarily good, but being able to react to it, looking on the bright side, can be helpful. But yeah, with challenges, you know, stuff is hard and it's rough. But I think if you approach it with the spirit of exploration and giving yourself permission to fail, it's far easier than if you approach it feeling like you have to nail it first time. And remember that animation is a team sport, and everybody here in your community is here to support you and try and help you get better. And so don't feel nervous or afraid about asking people for feedback, because everyone just wants to see everyone else succeed. Because stuff that you learn, hopefully, you know, you'll be able to teach other people in the future and such, and we'll all just keep getting better together.
Yeah, I like that team sport mentality.
Yeah. It absolutely is. Like, when you're working on a movie with people or a series with people, you're not going to want to push other people down because everybody is trying to make the best thing they possibly can. So it's in everybody's interest to make sure everybody is at the top of their game so you can all come together and make it the best it can possibly be. And it's in your interest to have everyone at the top of their game so they can teach you the skills as well that you're currently lacking.
We've all got something to give, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think everybody has a different perspective that is worth hearing. I think this take here, you could stretch the head out a bit as well as the eyes to really give that surprise.
Apologies, Caro, Kara, sorry. I got...
There is someone called Caro.
There is someone called Caro
so,
in the chat right now that I've been talking to, but I mean specifically Kara, the person who you're doing the drawovers for. That we went existential on the audio part of your feedback session.
Then maybe give you a little squash for one frame.
Yeah, I would really agree with that, Tib. Tib saying teaching people is also a fantastic way to learn. Super recommend it. It forces you to really think about what you know, because you can know something in a nebulous way, where you know all of these disparate elements and you kind of can use intuition to pull them together. But trying to communicate that knowledge to someone else, you need to like cement those things together and build something concrete to pass over. Like if you can't explain why an arc works, you just know that the arc works, if someone then goes, okay, but why? And you're able to explain why an arc is an efficient way for something to move through space and how it's appealing and how it can have different types of easing and settles and all that stuff in animated terms, then you are teaching yourself just as much as you are teaching them.
My overall notes on this are just to look to carve out those lines of action with your character silhouette, which is really tough to do with a 3D rig, because you're limited by what the rig can do. You know, if the rig has a bulbous body, it can sometimes be hard to get like a straight line down the back of a spine and a leg.
Okay.
Because if it's a bean shape with a leg stuck in the middle of it, then there's no way for you to rotate that in order to get a smooth line down the back of everything.
Unless you can you might have to actually move where the hips join.
So yeah, you have to get creative with it. But I've look to carve out those lines of action in the silhouette.
Cool.
As much as you can, you know, because it's possible that some of this stuff you just won't be able to do with the rig. But yeah, Kara, this is so cool. I love it. Let me turn off the notes for a sec so we can see it properly.
It's really cool.
Super nice. Really reading well. Looking fantastic. Nice job. Oh wow, Zaburbrain says, I'm really bad at drawing backgrounds. Yet I know how perspective works, which is why my teachers used to make me tutor and mentor failing background class students.
Perspective can help so much. From character illustration to prop design to background illustration to just animating things moving through space.
Yeah.
Understanding of perspective changes the way that you draw.
It does. That's something I'm tackling at the minute with a project. I'm doing a project where the perspective is always really pushed.
Right.
And it's forcing me to really think about, you know, where I can push the poses into a 3D space with every single scene. Even if it's a flat-on comedy scene, they still are thinking about, the other artists on the project are still thinking about, where is this in space?
Gotcha.
What can be pushed forward, but, still be an appealing flat image?
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm running very low on time. We've gone way over again.
Yep.
So I think maybe the best thing for us to do is just to show all the other ones we have.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to have time to critique all these. But I do want to say I'm really, really, really sorry if we haven't got around to critiquing yours, because I was really wanting to critique all of them. And we really appreciate you guys taking part in this challenge. We hope that you had a great time with it, that you learned something and had fun. And we hope that you continue to participate in the future ones too, because it's so fun to look through all your guys' work. And that's part of the problem, is I'm unable to do this stuff quickly. Because every animation has so much cool stuff packed into it that, you know, I want to look through and dissect.
So we'll have a look through them, and I think a lot of the notes you've provided on the ones so far, because India's been at this for
2 days.
7 hours-ish now, so there's plenty of resources in this sync sketch that we'll share with you.
That's true, yeah. Maybe if I didn't get around to yours, maybe have a think through the kind of feedback the chat and I were giving to others and see how they would apply to yours.
Yeah, and a lot of these additional entries came through on Monday, so... You know,
well,
I think it's fair though.
Okay, well, let's have a look at them and see what people are up to. So the bird brain, oh no! The bird brain's a Palin in chat, and now I feel like, oh no.
I'm not sure I got Suburban's latest either. So check
really?
through this.
Let's see. Maybe we could review them in advance and kind of put together the similar issues. Maybe. It's tough because if we collect them on Sunday night before the stream on Monday, a lot of people's entries tend to come through on Monday morning as well.
Okay.
So we do end up missing a lot of them. So we could do that, but we'd have to spend Super Sunday.
We'd have to be more strict about the cutoff.
Let's have a look anyway at the bird brains.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
I recognise your D&D character. This is your D&D character, right?
I love
my
that
gosh.
final pounce. That's so cool.
You got all the way to the end, the bird brain. That's awesome. And look at how the bird brain is using just stick figures as well to plan the motion, so that she can get through it super fast. And you can still tell exactly what's going on all the way through.
I really like the way that they come off of the pole swing into all fours to pounce forward.
Yes, I agree. I feel like maybe that hit there is a little bit soft. The swoop.
You can see that they're using the characters to sort of look where they're going to land first.
Yeah. I don't know whether it's like the kind of spiral arc that makes it feel like easing into it, or whether maybe just speeding up that fall down and increasing this follow through here would help. But I think having wham onto it and then, if only I could drag this properly with my mouse. I think having a wham onto it and then a settle before jumping off would help to sell the weight there a little bit better. I really love poses like this. Very clear. Look how they're avoiding twinning. And look at that lovely spine reversal.
Yeah, having that knee drive upwards to sort of like really push the jump. It's really nice.
Yeah, and look there, you can even see what the basis was, like this little stick figure. Really, really fun. Fun stuff. Look at that! What even is that? That's awesome, is what that is.
One thing you could think about is
nice
thinking
to see
about
a wall run.
Pulling your character into fun shapes. So if you draw a shape first and then draw the limbs and everything to push the character into that shape. You saw it in Kurzik's earlier where she had that really nice like lean in with the shoulder leading the werewolf character.
This stretch is super nice. Yeah. Real cool. Yeah, I really like these swings with you coming super close to the camera in perspective. That's really fun.
If any of you all are interested, Trashbot just let you know about there's a link there that has a bunch of articles of stuff that we've given help and advice of in the past to do with topics like character design, storytelling, storyboarding, creating comics. If any of you all are interested, it's that it links to our Patreon, but everything is free to read. It's all completely open. And so there's a resource there that we want to share with you guys to help you all create.
Super awesome work, the bird brain. Really cool. Oh man. Awesome. I'm sorry that I don't have more time to go through this, but I think it's wonderful. My main notes would just be on this little end bit here to get this to feel a little bit more weighty and less glidey. Everything's working super nicely though. I'd love to see you proof this up. I know that you probably don't have much time, but I really like this character, and I would really like to see like them completed and running through this environment.
Okay.
And then Anthony Wyatt. Oh, this is super nice and solid. Look at how solid this character feels. Wow. You're really maintaining the shapes here convincingly.
Even with the scribbly, sketchy line style, the volumes are there and communicated.
Yeah. Look at that lovely hold at the top of the arc. Like, so wham fast. It's beautiful. This is a beautiful piece of work. It feels so like volumetric. Look at the nice little drag on his eyes, a little bob.
Nice.
The only thing I'd say be wary about with this is like the twinning. I think that you could get a little bit more nuance in there if you weren't twinning the arms and legs quite so much. This is really nice though. I love this perspective getting close to the camera here. Working super well, rotating around them as they're coming down. And it's amazing how few drawings you can get away with the camera moving, yet it still feels smooth.
Yes. I think they did really well with that.
Look at this wonderful foreshortening though, with those tiny legs and these big hands coming forward. The hands are like the size of the legs. And then wham! We get this stretch frame, and then this one little ease, which is 1 frame long. And then this grey cell with the legs bending backwards. And we've even got like this little bit of rotation going around too. Super nice. I feel like Anthony Wyatt really knows like their volumes and has a good handle on keeping things consistent, because this is very consistent all the way through.
Notice that they've gone with, you know, a fairly, like the shapes are clear and not simple, because I wouldn't say that, but like where he doesn't need to, he's just got balls for hands to communicate it. And
the hands come out when the hands are needed.
There to communicate personality.
Yeah, lovely work. Nice spine reversals going on.
Yeah, so don't feel like you have to draw the whole character every frame in your roughs. This is the kind of level that I would say to aim for. Rough it up.
Yeah.
Stay loose.
It's super rough, but like you can feel the volume of everything working super well. Fantastic work. Really, really nice, Anthony. The bird brain's war cry of "It's art!"
If you all want to see these animations in their natural habitat, have a look at the Animorning Challenge hashtag on Twitter, and you'll find all of these animators.
Yes.
Because they've been posting them there, and go follow them.
Yeah, please do.
They're good people.
They're great artists.
I'll see if I can like more directly link you.
Is Fuhai the artist here?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. This is Fuhai's. Ah, that's really fun. That bit of character acting there. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. So I feel like this blue character, yeah, they skid to a halt and they're like, wait, it's too dangerous, wait. So I don't know if they're antagonistic or if they're like friendly, but I really like this acting on the character here with the see ya. Let's see. I think here again, maybe the main note that I would give on this is that the spacing feels a little bit even on a lot of stuff. You could really like space out some of that more and keep more of it close in. Slower slows and faster fasts, as Patrick would say, will help here a lot. Like taking this little bit as an example. These are all quite evenly spaced.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have more frames clustered around here this way and then pop more straight into this, then it's going to feel more like the character is springing up onto these.
Okay, I think I get it.
Yeah, so you would want maybe a few more frames around here and then a faster landing and then a faster spring and then a slower bit here. So you want to just vary up the spacing a little bit. Make some of your spacing for the slower parts much tighter and some of the spacing for the more energetic parts a bit further apart.
I think maybe also giving yourself a little bit more room. The character is very much like hugging the right hand side of the frame there, where they don't necessarily need to.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But I mean, putting some more frames here might allow you to do that.
Yeah.
Because we become much more over to the left here, which is nice. I like having this perspective behind the character as I run forward.
That's really nice.
That's super cool. Yeah, that would be my main note. Like, I think the character posing is all really nice. You want to make sure that you are watching your anatomy and maintaining those volumes as you go. But the main note at the minute, I think, is just on the spacing. To make sure that feels like you're really supporting and conveying the actions that are happening with the spacing you're giving your frames, as well as the poses.
Yeah.
Like, you want to support the message that you're giving people. You're jumping from a great height. Let's have, like, more of an effort of pushing themselves up afterwards. And then, you know, a faster jump over to really show where the weight and momentum is.
Suburban saying for a challenge at school, I think this was, we were not allowed to use anything other than a fat 6B pencil on our rough drawings in school, which made us have way smaller and rougher anim. Smaller? Okay. It really helped the students that had a more stiff anim style. In digital world, it takes more dedication, but you can fake that using a very broad brush, and that way you don't noodle into the details.
Yeah, working from far away is a great tip.
Smoother,
like, zoom out your
gotcha.
canvas is a great tip, especially if you're getting faster. We have Simon Bede.
Woo.
Simon Bede, you're ready.
That roll is really nice.
Yeah, that was. I like this. It's really cool.
This is competent work. Aha. I saw someone saw this on Twitter, and they had happened to be listening to a Jet Set Radio song, and then they matched this anim to the Jet Set Radio song.
Oh, nice.
It went really well.
You see, so when I was talking about the spacing, this is what I'm talking about. So you see this spacing, wham, straight down here. And then smaller spacing to show that weight. Again, we've got really small spacing here. And then
giving you
wham.
time for that anticipation, yeah.
Large spacing, characters going fast. Super cool stuff. I really like all the posing here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, Clyde.
Hey, Clyde. I feel like you could give some things a little bit more room to breathe, just to make them super clear. I really like this wall run. That's really nice. Are you basically working on ones? You're working on twos, okay. There are some ones in there too, because these are all ones.
Really communicating those foot placements, though.
Yeah. Very cool. Like, I feel like some of this stuff over here could do with a little bit more time to read.
I think
Like, I'd love to have that tumble up there in the air stay on screen for like a little bit longer than it does.
Mm-hmm. It's tough though. I think in this case, much like Anima Tunings or Habbo did, he retimed the camera move to suit his movements.
Mm-hmm.
I think if this animator had done that, I think they would have been able to time it more specifically for themselves and really help them communicate these moves. Like, my camera move is very general because I didn't want to influence how the animators would interpret it, but upon realizing that having such a general camera move meant that people were either it was moving too fast for their character or too slow. Yeah, if I were to do it again.
Nice bit of perspective coming forward here. Really like that. Be careful that you're not losing a lot of mass with the character. Like, the character here
Is way
compared
smaller.
to the character there
Yeah.
feels very much smaller. So be careful about that. And also, I think some of these drawings, like, you could clarify a little bit just to make them super clear. Because I really like the character design, and it feels like you have like a nice character for making things very clear and constructed.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the drawings, it's a little difficult to tell exactly what's in front of what. And I think clarifying that would bring it to the next level. And just tightening up some of the spacing here. Like, for example, we see her launch over here, which is really cool. Then we have 3 frames very much in pretty much the same place, where she's kind of rotating around in space. And I think just like neatening those up a bit to make sure she's continuing to go along the arc and your spacing is really tight there. Maybe use some charts and, you know, really chart out where you want her in each position.
Yeah.
But this already has so much great energy. It's got this great kinetic feeling about it. You know? And then the last beat here, I think you could probably hold her up here until the camera kind of pans round and stops, and then have her collapse super fast. Just so it's less like a slow collapse as the camera's panning. I'm more like I'm holding it, I'm cool. I think that would maybe be more, get the comic timing a little bit more.
Yeah, I would agree.
Just because when it's happening with the camera going too, there's so much to look at that's happening on screen that the movie can get a little bit lost. And then I think that's the only ones we didn't get to were those 4, because then we've got Tibbs's.
Woo!
Yeah, wowzers! We did it, guys. We did it. I think. I'm just checking through. Yeah, I think we did. I think we got them. Guys. Wows! I have to get to work.
It's been really cool to sit through and listen to this feedback, Swifty.
Yeah, it's been so cool to do it. You guys, I had no clue when we started doing the Anime Morning Challenges that so many people would want to take part. We really, really appreciate you guys taking part and having fun with it. It's awesome. And yeah, for anyone who wants to take part in the next animation challenge, the deadline for it is next Monday, as always. Monday morning. And this week, the challenge is to animate something 5 to 10 seconds. Under 5 is fine too, but definitely don't go over 10 seconds. Spend about 3 hours on it, rough it out, have fun, and animate like a dance animation. We're going to animate them all to 120 BPM, which is the beat about once every 9 frames, or 18 frames, or 27 frames, or however many multiples of 9 you want. And we're going to put them all together at the end to a track of music that's 120 BPM, and just check all of our characters grooving out together.
Is it 160 or 180?
I thought it was 160.
I thought it was 160. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been telling people it's 160.
Is 120 easy to animate too? Because we broke down how many frames that would be, and it would be 9.5, which I feel like could be a little bit harder to do. Did I just say 120 out loud? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant 160.
Here's a link to the sync sketch if you guys want to look through.
A Fox in Space is at 24 frames a second. Should be. Unless we've calculated something wrong, in which case now is a good time to find out. Better to find out sooner rather than later for sure. But yeah, at 24 frames a second, 160 should land on every 9 frames, whereas 120 lands on every 9.5 frames. Nine frames per beat.
Yeah. You can see a number of the previous Animorn challenges that we've done here with feedback and stuff that were provided. So if any of you are all interested, this is what we do each week, is we'll gather up your submissions on Sunday. This time we're going to look through them all and collect them together off stream on Monday, and then on Tuesday we'll look through folks' dance submissions.
Yeah, this one might be a little bit less like a critique and a little bit more like just a celebration of everyone making cool stuff.
Yeah, so if you would like to take part, you're completely welcome to and invited to. Let's see. Celebrate.
Yeah! So 24 frames a second, 9 frames a beat, 160 BPM.
Yeah.
Everybody bring your groove.
Any character, any style.
Yes. Anything you want.
Any medium, anything.
Have fun. And we're going to run because I have to. Oh, man. I have to go.
Yeah. It's almost 12 p.m. for us. We've been going for like 4 hours now, so. We'll find someone to raid. It's been an absolute pleasure, y'all.
You should stay. Clyde, we'd love to. But.
Clyde's just like, you should stay.
Ah! Got crow mail. Odsarin says, have a nice. Thank you, Odsarin. You have a nice too. Ah!
And an absolute massive thank you to What If Julia for the big raid. Thank you for introducing what we do to so many more people. Like, thank you.
And thank you, Seventh Cause, so much for that gifted sub. That's really cool. Clyde, I hope you enjoy your cheese on toast. Alright, guys, let's find someone to raid.
Alright, let me...
And get the hell out of here.
Let me put up our end screen so that we're not just being doofuses. And... here we are. This is us.
Let's see, this one is from... Enigmatic Amelia, 24-hour stream. The world demands it now.
Oh man, 24 hours.
Oh my gosh, maybe one day we'll get to do it. If we ever have a free 24 hours, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, weekend stream. Woo!
Ha! You guys assume we have weekends free.
Let me find...
Smash that cheese on toast.
I'm gonna raid Caro.
Do it.
Cool. Caro's awesome. She's an illustrator and does really good paints. And I think in the evenings she plays games as well. And it looks like just now she's working on an oil painting for her mum. Aw, that's cool. Okay.
Mother's Day shenaniganizing.
Yep. So thank you so much. We've been Doig and Swift on the Animation Breakfast Club.
And you have been awesome. May the rest
of your day.
Wait, are you raiding?
Not yet. You give me a second.
Hold on, one sec.
Here we go. I've initiated raid.
May the rest
of your day
be filled
with
adventure.
We'll be back tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
See you guys. Have fun at Caro's place.
Adventure toast. Adventure toast. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.